Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We know what it takes to achieve a dream. Dedication, courage, determination, control, desire. And our goal is to channel that energy. To champion the nation's best aquatic athletes, support the teams who support them, inspire anyone and everyone to feel the benefits of a love of water, and propel each sport onwards and upwards, or even downwards, by doing it the right way, sustainably, with integrity, with purpose. Because the thrill of seeing Great Britain being great at aquatic sport is something everyone can get excited about. We are Aquatics GB.
Good morning and welcome to the Ponds Forge International Sports Centre for another day of action in the Speedo Aquatics GB Summer Championships. If you were with us yesterday, well, thanks for tuning in again. We had some really exciting racing in the men's and women's 1500 metres freestyle events yesterday, and we will have even more exciting action today. This morning we start with a heats session, and we have 5 events. As you can see, we've got the men's 200 metres freestyle coming up very soon. We'll have women's 400 metres freestyle to follow that, men's 100 metres breaststroke, women's 50 metres breaststroke, and men's 50 metres backstroke. And in all of those heats, swimmers will be competing for places in the finals in their individual age groups. As always, we are celebrating British swimming at this event. The families, as we see here, play a crucial part. None of these swimmers could achieve what they do without the support from their families and friends. We celebrate the swimmers' performances as well at this event, the coaches as well, and all of our officials. So it's absolutely an amazing opportunity to celebrate together what the swimmers and everybody around them has done in the last 12 months. The quality of racing here, as you're well aware, is of a very high standard, quite possibly the highest standard of most of these swimmers of the year. It's all about getting ready to deliver in July, the most important month in our swimming season. And for a lot of these swimmers, it's part of their development to learn how to deliver their fastest times when it really matters at events like this. As I'm sure you're aware, this is the premier age group competition in Britain, a real benchmark for these swimmers to set themselves. And when we get to the Olympic Games next week and we watch the swimming there, it's well worth remembering all of the swimmers representing Team GB have competed and won medals in this competition in years gone by. We are watching swimmers here who will be stepping up to that stage as well at some point in the future. That's the long-term goal for so many of the swimmers that we will see. And this is also an opportunity for swimmers to really raise their game on the biggest stage, as the atmosphere and the preparation help them to deliver their very best when it matters. So as I mentioned, we are competing for places in finals in this heats session. The heats get progressively faster. It's a slightly different format when we're swimming for finals. The last 3 heats will have their fastest swimmers spread around. The final heat won't necessarily be the fastest swimmers across all 10 lanes, but I'll explain more of that when we get closer to it. In general, what we will find is that in the early heats, the swimmers from the younger age groups will be competing for the places in the finals, and then when we get towards the end, it will be a much bigger competition. Men's 200 metres freestyle will be our first event, and we will have 13 heats in all this morning. So we'll see over 120 swimmers competing in this one, and they will be swimming across all of the age groups. The age groups, of course, 13s and 14s, they all swim together. Then the 15-year-olds, that's one individual age group, the 16s as well, and the 17s. Medals in each of those events across the age groups. And then we will have the 18s and over competing for a separate set of medals. Only 3 swimmers in heat 1 of this men's 200 metres freestyle. They're all 14 years of age. And after this, we'll be using all 10 lanes of the pool in the heats. That's the heats from yesterday, but here is the heats for today. Leon Ginther from Portsmouth North Sea will be in lane 3. Samuel Way from Guildford City in lane 4. And Elliot Griffiths from Walsall Swim and Water Polo Club will be in lane 5. And these 3 swimmers have all swum times under 2 minutes and 7 seconds this year. They are 14 years old, and that is really impressive by any standard at that age. So we'll bear that in mind when we watch these 3 swimming in heat 1. And I think we are just about ready to get day 2 of this Aquatics GB Summer Championships underway. Off we go then, men's 200 metres freestyle, 3 14-year-olds swimming in heat 1. And from the very beginning, it's Elliot Griffiths from Walsall who has decided to head out the fastest. He's going to try and get himself into a good position early on in the race. This is 4 lengths of the pool, as I'm sure you are aware. So Griffiths out there with a 1.7 second lead at the first turn. And Leon Ginther of Portsmouth North Sea in second place, looking very smooth. And already looks like he may be closing that advantage. So coming into the second turn then, still out in front, Elliot Griffiths. Sub 59 seconds for the first 50, and his time on the start list, Elliot, 2:06.52. I think going out sub 59, we'd expect him to go under that 2:06 time. We're probably looking at something in the region of 2:02 to 2:04, depending on how they swim this second 100. Griffiths still in the lead at the final turn. And Leon Ginther just behind. But Ginther is really coming through. I think he's out in front now. He's probably going to come through to win this heat, the way things are going. Long, smooth stroke from the 14-year-old for Portsmouth North Sea, into the last 15 metres. It will be Ginther in lane 3 to come home in first place, and we keep an eye on the time. 2:03.93. Griffiths was 2:05.03. Both swimmers under the time they entered with, so good swims both. And Samuel Way with a 2:12.84. So well swum, particularly by Ginther and Griffiths there. And confirmation of the times for those three swimmers competing in the 14-year-old age group. Leon Ginther in first place there. On to Heat 2. And in Heat 2, reading from the top of your screen, Charles Phipps for Millfield in lane 9, Martin Vermaat for Camden Swiss Cottage in 8, Samuel Green for Bassetlaw in 7, Maximus Major, City of Newport in 6, Frederick Brown, Guildford City in 5, George Bailey, Exeter City in 4, Tarek Bluck of Worcester in 3, Jacob Bacon, City of Peterborough in 2, Benjamin McDougall, Wycombe District in 1, and Conor McCullum, City of Leeds in lane 0. First of the turn, George Bailey, 28.44. Just 1.2 seconds between all 10 swimmers at that turn. 9 of these swimmers are in the 14-year-old age group. Charles Phipps at the top of your picture in lane 9 is 13 years old. The 13 and 14s are combined and swimming for the same medal in effect. So all of these swimmers in the same age group. George Bailey still out in front. Frederick Brown, who's in 5th place there, he was pretty quick over that second 50. We have got 75 metres to go in this Heat 2. By and large, I would say it's unlikely that any of these swimmers will quite qualify for the final. Maybe the winner of this heat will be in with a chance, because we've still got more than 10, 13, 14-year-olds to come. But the winner of this heat could get themselves in position for the final. So here we come. The two swimmers out in front. Martin Vermaat towards the top of the screen, and at the bottom, Conor McCullum as we get into the last 15 metres. And those two, if either of them touches first, they'll be in with a chance of a final. It looks like it will be Martin Vermaat in 2:02.69, just ahead of McCullum, Bacon, Major. Swimming around 2:05, very impressive for these swimmers. So Martin Vermaat with the fastest time there, 2:02.69, and that will be the time for the following 13, 14-year-olds to beat as we go on to heat number 3. We have 8 swimmers in the 13-14 category in this race and 2 in the 15-year-old category. I'll point out the 2 15-year-olds as I go through. We start at the top. Rory Vick of Warren de Bards in lane 9. Dylan Satavicius, Nuneaton and Bedworth in 8. Nikolai Cisnet, City of Glasgow in 7. Henry Shepherd of Bromley in 6. Benjamin Beale, Northumberland and Durham Performance in 5. Benedict McCarthy, City of Cardiff in 4. Lachlan Small of Stirling in 3, Plymouth Leanders, Ashby Evans in 2, Xander Tovey of Millfield in 1, James Biddick of Exeter City in 0. And first to the turn was Benedict McCarthy in 26.57. The 2 15-year-olds in this race are McCarthy in 4 and Lachlan Small in lane 3. And McCarthy out in front at the moment with Xander Tovey just behind. And Lachlan Small into the turn then. McCarthy, Tovey and Small. Sub 57 seconds for the first 50 from McCarthy. Looking good. So in first and third at the moment we've got the two 15-year-olds. And at the bottom of your picture there, Xander Tovey. Looking good for a place in the 13, 14-year-old age group final right now. Here comes the final turn. Tovey might even get to the turn first. I'm not quite 1/100th of a second behind. Almost touching simultaneously at the wall. It's McCarthy and Tovey then leading the way. Tovey's in front now though. Off that wall, that was a great turn. It's going to be Tovey who comes in first, and I'd be pretty sure this will be good enough to get him a place in the 13 and 14 years category final. Oh, have a look here at Benjamin Beale in lane 5, finishing very strongly as well. Is he going to catch Benedict McCarthy at the touch for second place? Not quite, not quite. It's Tovey, McCarthy and then Beale who finished so strongly. Tovey probably through to the final with that sub 2 minutes. Great swim for all three swimmers who went under 2 minutes there. And Tovey and Beale may well have got themselves in position for a place in their final. That's the 13, 14-year-old category. Here comes heat number 4. Most of the swimmers in this race are in the 15-year-old category. Starting at the top then, Owen Wilson from Ramsbottom, Leonardo Masserini. In lane 7, Joshua Drury-Chew. Lane 6, Ernest Darkin, Dulwich Dolphins. Lane 5, Jack Kears, Teddington. Lane 4, Wilfred Lee, Millfield. Lane 3, Thea Harris, Bramwell, City of Coventry. Lane 2, Mako Yakno, Portsmouth, North Sea. Lane 1, Yassin Kamel, Swansea University. And lane 0, Reuben Thomas, Mount Kelly. First to the turn, Thea Harris, Bramwell. And as I mentioned, 9 15-year-olds in this race. Mako Yakno in lane 2 is in the 13-14 category. Bramwell looking good. Out in front. High stroke rates. And he's certainly going to be the fastest swimmer we've seen so far over the first 100 metres. 56.9, or maybe a little slower than the previous heat actually to the second turn. But still looking good. Bilateral breathing, he's breathing left and right. Having said that, he's now switched to the right and he's sticking with that, Bramwell. In second place then at the moment, we've got Joshua Drury-Chew, City of Birmingham. And as we come to the final turn then, it's Bramwell from Drury-Chew, followed by Wilfred Lee and Jack Kears. Keep an eye on Mako Yakno in lane 2, 3 from the bottom of your picture. Remember, in the 13-14 category, the fastest time we've seen in that category so far, just under 2 minutes. But what a race this is now. Great surging finish in lane 4 from Wilfred Lee in the green cap for Millfield. He's going to come through and win this heat. A really strong final 50 from Lee. Touching first, 1:59.86. Great swim there. Mako Yakno in the 13-14 category, 2:01.9. One swimmer in that race swimming sub 2 minutes. So 1:59.86 from Wilfred Lee. That's the fastest time we've seen in the 15-year-old category so far in these heats. On we go then to heat number 5. In heat 5, from the top of the picture, Dylan Madican, who won a medal in the 1500 metres freestyle yesterday. Caden Frampton of Millfield also won a medal yesterday. Lane 7, Austin Manley from Repton Swimming. Lane 6, Caden Hitchens from City of Birmingham. into the gold lanes in the middle. Jensen Owen, City of Sheffield. In lane 4, Daniel Payton, Northumberland and Durham. And then in lane 3, Oliver Murray Millfield, Leo Talbot of Bolton Metro in lane 2, Thomas Swales of Nova Centurion in lane 1, Connor Aspinall, East Lothian in lane 0. And it's Aspinall who gets to the first turn ahead of the rest in 26.8. So he's off to a good start. And in the middle of the pool there, Daniel Payton in lane 5 in the blue cap, swimming well. Also looking towards the bottom of the picture, Thomas Swales from Nova Centurion surging through as we reach the halfway point. It's Aspinall through to the turn in first. We have got 4 14-year-old swimmers in this race from the top. That's lane 8, Caden Frampton, lane 7, Austin Manley, lane 6, Caden Hutchins, and then Leo Talbot in lane 2. The rest are 15-year-olds. I would expect all of the 14-year-olds in this race to qualify for the final at this pace. First to the final turn then is Thomas Swales, just ahead of Austin Manley. But all of the first 5 under 129 for the first 150 metres. And it looks like a good finish here from Caden Hitchens in lane 6 in the black cap, just ahead at the moment of Swales. It's going to be a real sprint to the finish here for these two. First and second for sure. It looks like it will be Hitchens, no, Manley rather, sorry. Manley comes in first, 1:58.22. And it's another impressive performance there. So Manley first, Thomas Swales, Nova Centurion in second. 1:58.22 from Manley in the 13-14 category. That's the fastest we've seen there. And we move on to heat 6. And in heat 6 from the top of the picture, Patrick Neal, City of Leeds, Thomas Marshall, Exeter City, Vinnie Owen, City of Cardiff, Archie Dandy, Leicester Sharks, Daniel Belsey, Hatfield, Elliot Lawton, City of Coventry, Finley Richardson, Guildford City, Jack Swindale, City of Peterborough, Sky Sharples, Portsmouth North Sea, and Jack Bignell from Northampton. Into the turn, Elliot Lawton is there ahead of the rest, 26.6. But Sky Sharples looking good at the bottom of the picture as well in lane 1. With that surging stroke breathing to his left. And the two swimmers in the golden lanes in the middle, Lawton and Daniel Belsey, actually moving into first place now as we get towards the halfway points in this heat. So Lawton and Belsey turn together. Lawton over first, 56.5. And almost in sync at the moment, Lawton and Belsey. Slightly higher stroke rate in lane 5 from Belsey. For the moment there, they were matching each other, right and left arm. And these two are going to get to 150 metres together as well. Lawton and Belsey are both 15-year-old swimmers. We also have 3 15-year-old swimmers in this heat. We'll pick up all of their times on the result sheet. But let's concentrate on this finish. 2 swimmers side by side. And it looks like Daniel Belsey of Hatfield has got himself into the lead. Lawton is fighting back, and also in lane 2, Jack Swindale's finishing strongly. Who's going to get the touch? It's Lawton. And then Belsey, Patrick Neal, 1:58.3 out in lane 9. And in lane 2, Jack Swindale in 4th place, 1:58.36. So Elliot Lawton in the 16-year-old category, finishing first, 1:57.61. And a good swim from Finley Richardson as well. On we go then to heat number 7. Heat 7, our swimmers are Alexander Laurie from Leander at the top of your picture, then Rufus Parry, Wickham District, Rio Dowdu, Kingston upon Hull, Tom Jeffords from Wren 96, then in lane 5, Ralph Seraki, Mount Kelly, lane 4, Jack Finney, City of Sheffield, lane 3, Samuel Williams, Wickham District, lane 2, Jack Brown, Plymouth Leander, lane 1, Joseph Ashley, City of Liverpool, and lane 0, Hugo Jones, Team Bath. And the fastest 3 swimmers are all on the near side of the pool. Jack Brown turning first in 26.2, ahead of Joseph Ashley and Hugo Jones. And it looks like Joseph Ashley is surging through this second 50 for City of Liverpool and may well turn in first place. I would say City of Liverpool have had a good meet so far. We've only had 2 and a fraction sessions up to this point, but City of Liverpool had a good day with medals yesterday, and I think Joseph Ashley is continuing that impressive work today. He's one of the 16-year-old swimmers in this particular heat. We've got 4 16-year-olds and 6 17-year-olds, and Ashley is comfortably out in front at the final turn. 125.1. Now this is looking like a very good swim. Fastest we've had from a 16-year-old so far, 157.6 in the previous heat from Elliot Lawton, and we're going to have a faster time than 157.6 here. There's no doubt about that from Joseph Ashley. Lane 4, Jack Finney, looks like he'll be in second place, and at the top of the picture, Alexander Laurie from Leander coming in thirds, 155.2. Well, that's a great swim from Joseph Ashley, the fastest 16-year-old so far. Remember, everyone's swimming for a place in the final. 10 swimmers in the final in each age group. And Jack Brown of Leander, Jack Finney, sorry, of City of Sheffield, the fastest 17-year-old so far. On we go to heat number 8. Now 10 swimmers in this heat. Lachlan Parrott from Millfield at the top of the picture, actually not swimming. So then we go to lane 8, Ethan Stubbs-Green of Millfield, Sam Smith of Skipton in 7, James Boddy of Garriott in 6, Cameron Hastings, University of Aberdeen Performance in 5, Kurosh Kadaka of City of Leeds in 4, Marcus High of Wickham District in 3, Thomas Belt, Plymouth Leander in 2, Oscar Bellinger, Plymouth Leander in 1, and How She, City of Sheffield in 0. First to the turn, Ethan Stubbs-Green at the top of our pictures here, followed by Sam Smith, and then fighting for third at the moment in lane 5, Cameron Hastings, and in lane 1, Oscar Bellinger. Coming up to the second turn, I would say Sam Smith looks like he might get to the wall first here in lane 7, and he does, 55.8, just ahead of Ethan Stubbs-Green and Oscar Bellinger. 2 separate races now developing on either side of the pool. Stubbs-Green and Smith at the top of your picture, and at the bottom, Oscar Bellinger and How She. And I think on the far side they're just ahead coming into the second turn. Stubbs-Green to turn first, with Smith alongside him, followed by Bellinger and Kurosh Kadaka in lane 4, also coming surging through, and he looks really good in the yellow cap in the middle of the pool. It's Kadaka who is swimming quicker than anyone right now. He moves into first place, and I don't think anybody's going to catch him. And I think at the bottom of your screen, How She might well be coming through for second place here. It's Kuroshkadaka who touches the wall first, 155.55. How she next to touch, 156.7. And Sam Smith in 156.8. And how she is a 15-year-old swimmer. So that's really impressive from him. 156.7 to finish in second place in that heat. Kuroshkadaka score with 155.55, and the fastest 16-year-old Oscar Bellinger there. On we go to heat number 9. So most likely now we are looking at 16 and 17-year-old contenders for their finals. We've got Finley Pope of Ramsbottom in 9, Hugh Mason-Williams, City of Birmingham in 8, Joseph Adams, Chelsea and Westminster in 7, Thomas Jennings, Portsmouth North Sea in 6, Harry Milne of Repton in 5, Jack Bamburgh, City of Cardiff in 4, Ethan Kelly, City of Liverpool in 3, Edward Bell, Seagulls in 2, Kenzie McLean, Perth City in 1, and Ronnie Wheel, City of Liverpool in 0. Harry Milne first to turn there in lane 5, and you see him in the middle of the pool in the black cap, and swimming to try to keep up with him in lane 7, Joseph Adams, and towards the bottom of the picture, Edward Bell of Seagulls. But it looks like it will be Milne first to 100 metres, 54.95. He's a body length up on everybody else here. Harry Milne, one of the 16-year-old swimmers. You'd expect this performance will get him into the final, which will take place this evening. Edward Bell, who's currently in second place in the black cap in lane 2. He's a 17-year-old, and also in lane 3, surging through here, Ethan Kelly, City of Liverpool. I think he might even turn second. Milne then over first. Kelly actually turning in third behind Jack Bamburgh. Milne's going to win this heat. Very impressive. The fastest time we've seen so far, 155. And look at Ethan Kelly in lane 3. He's coming surging through. Actually, he's a real contender to win this one. Ethan Kelly's going faster than anybody here. Kelly's going to surge past Milne in the final 15 here. It's Ethan Kelly who's going to come through and win the heats. 154.83. Beautifully timed. Ethan Kelly coming through. Fastest 16-year-old we've seen so far. 154.83 for him. Incredible surge at the end. And Edward Bell. Harry Milne finishing in second place there. On we go to heat number 10. Now 10 swimmers here. Henry Norman of Bromley, Dennis Mialkowski of Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson. We've got a 15-year-old in lane 7, Daniel Cudderverdi, Stockport Metro. Oliver Gillett, City of Swansea in 6, Samuel Sterry, Tigers in Jersey in 5. Another 15-year-old in lane 4, Samuel Sutcliffe from Ramsbottom. Then in lane 3, Ruben Alty of Millfield. Lane 2, Morgan Davis, Guildford City. In lane 1, another 15-year-old Monty Smith, Wickham District. And lane 0, James Page, City of Birmingham. Sutcliffe first to turn in 26 dead, just ahead of Oliver Gillett. And also, I think, looking pretty good at the moment towards the top of the picture, Dennis Mialkowski of RTW Monson. A lot of very quick swimming along this second 50 right across the pool. Who's going to turn first? It's still Sutcliffe out in front in 55.1, and Mialkowski turning in second place. Looking good. Keep an eye towards the bottom of the picture as well on Monty Smith from Wickham District, and actually on Ruben Alty as well, who's just gone ahead. Well, Morgan Davis is in there as well. Davis may well be moving into second place. Miałkowski looks like he'll turn first. He does, ahead of Davis and Smith. Now, who's got the most left in the tank here? I think it's lane 1, Monty Smith, who seems to be finishing the quickest. No, Miałkowski's just ahead at the moment. Oh, I think Miałkowski has got this one. There's good swimming here at the bottom for Monty Smith, and also in lanes 4, 5, 6 and 7. Miałkowski is going to touch first. 153.78 ahead of Coda Verde and Samuel Sterry. Every single swimmer 158 or below in that heat. Miałkowski finishing first, 153.78. 17 years of age. And Daniel Coda Verde in the 15-year-old age group in second, just ahead of another 15-year-old, Monty Smith. On we go to heat 11. And this is the first of the seeded heats. So first of the seeded heats, which means we've got one of the top ranked swimmers in this race, and that's in lane 4, Tyler Melbourne Smith, who is probably already just a shade ahead of everybody else. In this heat, Jake Chesworth of Maxwell, Jack Jenkinson of Skipton, Josh Williams of Swansea University, Jacob Mills, City of Leicester, Gabriel Shepherd, City of Leeds, Tyler Melbourne Smith, Loughborough University, Brodie Gordon Gibson, Edinburgh University, Jack Munsey, University of Stirling, Matthew Baker, West Suffolk, and Scott Fleming of South Lanarkshire. Melbourne Smith turning first in 25.7. He is the third fastest ranked swimmer going into this competition. So he is the fastest in this heat. Every single swimmer who is competing in these last 3 heats has done incredibly well this year. To be considered one of the 30 quickest to compete in these championships is a real achievement. So Melbourne Smith from Gordon Gibson and from Williams. Melbourne Smith competing in the open category. Gabriel Shepherd in lane 5 in the yellow cap, in the second or third position right now. He is only 16 years of age, so this is really impressive swimming from Shepherd as he turns now in third place in the 16-year-old category. So he's done really well. The fastest 16-year-old we've seen so far, I think, may still be Ethan Kelly in 154. Tyler Melbourne Smith then setting the pace for everyone else to follow, and Gabriel Shepherd, the 16-year-old, is not going to finish far behind. 149.6 for Melbourne Smith, 150.97 for Gabriel Shepherd. He has been quicker than that, but a very good performance from Shepherd. Tyler Melbourne Smith then with our fastest time so far, 149.6, and Shepherd, the 16-year-old, 150.9. On to heats number 12. Once again, we are into these seeded heats. It's Zach Slater of East Lothian in 9, Llewellyn Porter of Camden Swiss Cottage in 8, Jacob Goodman, Loughborough University in 7, Henry Baker, University of Stirling in 6, Luke Hornsey, Edinburgh University in 5, Alexander Sargent of Millfield in 4. In lane 3, we have Rowbottom Keating. In lane 2, Henry Gray. Lane 1, Angelo Giannicontini. And in lane 0, Jacob Lee. Rowbottom Keating is the first to turn, and looking really strong right now, a 19-year-old swimmer. But also keep an eye on the middle lanes, because Alexander Sargent and Luke Hornsey may well have strong finishes to come. 53.4 at the halfway turn for Ruben Rowbottom Keating from Loughborough University. 151.2 is his PB. We've seen a couple of swimmers swim faster than that already. It will be Rowbottom Keating over first, then Sargent and Hornsey. Big turns from those three. And keep an eye as well on Henry Gray of Chelsea and Westminster, who looks like he's finishing very well. Ruben Rowbottom Keating then, with a PB of 151.2. This is going to be a new PB. As he comes into the last 5 metres, 149.3. Ahead of Alex Sargent in 151.6. Henry Gray 151.8. Most of the swimmers in that one in the 18s and over category. There were 2 swimmers in the 16s and 17s, and I'll just confirm their times. Llewellyn Porter in the 16-year-old age group finishing 7th, 154.2. Zach Slater in the 17s, 155.35. Ruben Rowbottom King 149.3, winning that heat. Here comes our final heat. And we'll have our fastest seed in this one, swimming in lane 4, Jordan Cooley. So this is Harry Chandler in lane 9, George Snow of Millfield in 8, Arthur Logan, Edinburgh University in 7, David Annis of the Royal Wolverhampton School in 6, Ben Cope, City of Sheffield in 5, Jordan Cooley, City of Leeds in 4, Freddie Ashley Sparks, Plymouth Leander in 3, Harry Wynne Jones, City of Milton Keynes in 2, Samuel Tucker, Loughborough University in 1, and Hayden Annan of Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson in 0. Cooley first to turn, 25.45, ahead of Ben Cope. David Annis in lane 6 in a blue cap is an 18-year-old European Junior Championship swimmer. So he's also one to keep an eye on in this race. Cooley turning first then, 53.2, ahead of Harry Wynne Jones in lane 2. And in lane 5, Ben Cope is in 3rd place. In lane 3, it's Freddie Ashley Sparks in 4th. As we come to the final turn, Cooley will be looking to swim around the 149 mark to post a time similar to what we've seen so far from Ruben Rowbottom Keating. It's Cooley ahead of Wynne Jones, and then in lane 5, Ben Cope. And there's a surging finish as well in lane 3 from Freddie Ashley Sparks. Ashley Sparks might make it through the crowd here. He's going quicker than anyone. What a finish here. Ashley Sparks, is he going to get the touch? Not quite. It's Ben Cope who gets there first. Cooley and Wynne Jones both setting times of 151.01. So a tie for second place there. Ashley Sparks finishing in 4th place. So Ben Cope's 150.86. That will see him through to the 18s and over final. Harry Chandler finishing 7th there, 16 years of age. Great performance. Hayden Annan, 17 years of age. They'll be in their respective finals as well. And that completes the men's 200 metres freestyle heats. We move on to our next event, and this is the women's 400 metres freestyle. There are 14 heats to swim and 3 swimmers in heat number 1. Our 3 swimmers reading from the top. Rosalie Anderson, City of Cardiff, in lane 5. Then it's Chloe Brotherton of South Tyneside in 4, and Kira Johnson at the bottom of your picture for Wigan Best. These are all 13, 14-year-old age group category swimmers, and they've posted times around 4 minutes 40 seconds for this event this year. So swimming around 4 minutes 30 would be good PBs for any of these swimmers. And out in front early on then, it's Kira Johnson from Wigan Best. 8 lengths of the pool, and there will be phases in this race where swimmers change the way they swim, change their style, and we could see some movement in the order. 64.4 for Johnson for the first 100, and looking good here at the start of the race. 64.4 would be an indication of swimming faster than that 4 minutes 40 that Kira Johnson has posted this year. So hopefully that's a sign that she is going to deliver her best performance of the year on this stage. 139.6 for Johnson, 141.6 for Brotherton, and 143.4 for Anderson. Brotherton in the middle of these three is actually a 13-year-old swimmer, so she can swim in this category again next year as a 14-year-old. I'll remind you that the 13s and 14s are swimming together in one category, so there'll be a gold medal at the end of the final session tonight for the fastest 13, 14-year-old. They'll have a final for the fastest 10, 13, 14-year-old 400-metre freestyle swimmers. There'll be a final for the 14-year-olds, a final for the 15s, a final for the 16s, a final for the 17s, and a separate final for the 18s and overs. That's all to come in this evening's session. And the swimmers in these heats are swimming for places in those finals tonight, of course. This is a great opportunity, this meet, to swim following the international schedule of a 7-day meet. Really a great opportunity to learn about the separate heats and final sessions and how to prepare, how to time your preparation. So much goes on around the pool that you'd be impressed by all the activation exercises that happen on the pool side. Then the warm-up, the swimmers actually think about what time their race is going to start, and they use that to work backwards and decide what time they should start all of their warm-ups. And all of that preparation is what goes into helping them learn about what it takes to be a successful senior swimmer later in their careers. 100 metres to go. Johnson turning in 3:27.7. 4:40 is the best time posted by Kira Johnson this year. 4:40.33 her PB. Can we get close to that? We'll be looking at a final 50 of around 35 seconds. It's going to be close, actually. Johnson swam the last 50 in 36.8. Her PB 4:40.3. Can she hold on to her pace to set a new personal best in the biggest meet of the year? Into the last 15 metres. It's Johnson leading from Rosalie Anderson and Chloe Brotherton. And we're looking at the clock now for 4:40.33 to beat. Just outside that, just a fraction. 4:40.5. And then a 4:43.7 for Rosalie Anderson and 4:45 dead for Chloe Brotherton. All swimming close to their best times this year. 4:40 the best time set by each of those swimmers in the last season. We go on now to heat number 2. And we have 9 swimmers in this heat. Lane 9 is empty. In lane 8, Georgia Howard, Wigan Best. Lane 7, Holly Gent, City of Leicester. Lane 6, Emily Hall, Warrington Warriors. Lane 5, Janie Finch, City of Leicester. Lane 4, Olivia Robbins, City of Birmingham. Lane 3, Mia Hawkins, City of Coventry. Lane 2, Darcy Arnold from Woking. In 1, Autumn Claxton, City of Salford. And in lane 0, Rosie Grosvenor, City of Birmingham. First to the turn was Autumn Claxton in 30.5. All 9 swimmers in this race in the 13-14 category. And there's a possibility that the fastest swimmer in this heat might challenge for a place in tonight's final. So I would say winning this heat would be the best chance for anybody to get into that final. There are more than 10 swimmers still to come in this category. Claxton turning first there in 64.03, ahead of Finch and Howard. Arnold as well, swimming the first 100 under 65 seconds. These swimmers have PBs under 4 minutes 40 or thereabouts. Fastest time set by anyone in this heat this year was by Olivia Robbins in lane 4. She has swum 4:37.8. At the moment, the best performances are coming from Claxton in lane 1 and Finch in 5. That's Autumn Claxton and Janie Finch. Claxton at the bottom of our picture is a 13-year-old swimmer, and Finch 14. And let's also keep an eye on the top of our screens. Georgia Howard swimming a good 50 here, putting herself in a really good position at the halfway turn. Claxton over first, followed by Finch and Howard. Howard is closing the gap on Finch at the moment. I'm not sure she could quite get into second place by the next turn. Finch is looking good in lane 5 as well. But no doubt about the most impressive swimmer right now. It's Autumn Claxton in lane 1. She'll come into the turn first here. 2:49.2. We've got 150 metres left to swim, and Claxton is almost 2 seconds ahead of her nearest rival. Howard looks like she is moving up into second place now at the top of the screens. But Autumn Claxton looking very good, into a good rhythm, good momentum, and swimming quicker than anybody else right now. 100 metres to go, 3:23.9. So that's about 69 second pace for 100 metres. The fastest time that Autumn Claxton has swum, 4:39.1. So we're looking for a good PB here. And Georgia Howard swimming well at the top of our picture as well, in second place, ahead of Janie Finch. Nobody is going to catch Autumn Claxton here. Sub 4 minutes at 350 metres, followed by Howard and then Finch and Robbins. And it's Hawkins, Arnold, Gent, Hall and Grosvenor in the last 50 metres. And Autumn Claxton maybe setting a good marker here for a possible place in the 13-14-year-old final. This looks a good swim. Remember her PB, 4:39.14, and she knocks 6 seconds off that. In lane 8, Georgia Howard, a 3-second PB for her. Janie Finch also with a PB in lane 3. Well swum, all 3 of those swimmers. And we may see Autumn Claxton competing in the 13-14-year-old final later. Georgia Howard may have an outside chance as well with her time of 4:36.78. We move on now to heat number 3. Now, swimmers in this heat: Keris Griffiths of Pembrokeshire County in lane 9. Then it's Heidi Corbett, Guildford City in 8. Isabel Hall, City of Leeds in 7. Grace Robinson of the St Felix School in Southwold in 6. Isla Ince, Guildford City in 5. Phoebe Adams, Northampton in 4. Gisela Silano, Guildford City in 3. Isabel Price, City of Birmingham in 2. Molly Norton, City of Leeds in 1. And Lydia Shipley of Middlesbrough in lane 0. Griffiths and Corbett turning pretty much together in lanes 9 and 8. We have 4 15-year-old swimmers in this heat. They are reading from the bottom in lane 2. Isabel Price, City of Birmingham. Phoebe Adams in 4 for Northampton. Isla Ince in lane 5 for Guildford City. And Grace Robinson in 6 for St Felix School. The rest of these swimmers are 13 and 14-year-old categories. We still have lots of 15-year-old swimmers to come. So really what we're keeping an eye on in terms of finals in this heat are the 13 and 14-year-old swimmers. Out in front then, it's Isla Ince in 5 and Heidi Corbett in 8. Looks like Corbett may be slightly ahead, but they're going to turn pretty close together. And also in lane 2, Isabel Price is up there. Ince, Corbett, Robinson, Price in that order at the 150-metre turn. Heidi Corbett in lane 8 is in the 13-14 category. So she's swimming for a place in that age group final. Very little to choose between the swimmers as we come into the halfway point. Ince probably will turn first, but there won't be much in it. Actually, she's beaten to that turn by Robinson, who really swam well the last 5 metres into the wall and coming out of that turn. Good swimming there from Grace Robinson in lane 6. Ince inching back, clawing back that advantage at the moment. In lane 9, Keris Griffiths is going well. And in lane 2, Isabel Price. So those 4 out in front as we come to the 250-metre turn. Robinson looks like she'll get to the wall first, ahead of Ince, Griffiths and Price. So Robinson, Ince are 15-year-old swimmers, but Keris Griffiths in 9 is in the 13-14 category. So this is really good 200 metres freestyle at the top of the screen from Keris Griffiths. It's still those 4 out in front. Robinson, then Price I think will turn second, then Ince and Griffiths, and we've got 100 metres to go. Time to get those legs kicking, and that can make a big difference. Price looks like she's going well at the bottom of the screen there, and Ince as well, edging forward. There won't be much to choose between these 4 as we get to the final turn. So Griffiths at the top of our screen is probably going to qualify for the 13-14-year-old 400-metre freestyle final here. She's just slipped behind over that last 50. And our first 3 here, Price, Ince and Robinson, are all in the 15-year-old category, and I think it's Price who's finishing the stronger right now in lane 2 at the bottom of your screen in the white cap. Price just a little ahead, and these three have got a race to the finish here. Griffiths is going well as well at the top of our screens. The 14-year-old from Pembrokeshire County finishing strongly. Price, I think, will get there first, maybe Griffiths second. Yes, that's how they finish, both with 4:32. Isla Ince as well, also with a 4:32, and Grace Robinson in fourth place, 4 minutes 33.2. PBs all around, 4:32.17. A winning time there for Isabel Price. And Keris Griffiths also swimming in 4 minutes 32 in the 13-14 category. On we go to heat number 4. And our 10 swimmers in this heat, reading from the top of our screens. In the green cap, Eva Lawson from Millfields. In the yellow, Millie Threlfall, City of Leeds. In lane 7, Lily Freeman, Northampton. In 6, in another yellow cap, City of Salford's Jessica Corder. In 5, Darcy Platt, City of Leicester. 4, Phoebe Chadwick of Teddington. Out in front, I think, at the first turn, in the yellow cap for City of Salford will be Alex Volkovaya. She turns in 30.2. Then in the white cap in lane 2, Megan Cumner, Mount Kelly. In lane 1, Casia Martin, City of Sheffield. And in the outside lane, bottom of our picture, Esme Slynn of Leicester Sharks in lane 0. So Alice Volkovaya out in front. 16-year-old swimmer. We have 4 15-year-olds in this race and 2 17-year-olds. Volkovaya swimming the first 100 metres in 63.6. And Esme Slynn in lane 0, 64.4 in second place. Volkovaya kicking hard, putting herself out in front. High stroke rate as well, working very hard. And this is the 150 metre turn. Volkovaya with a healthy advantage there. And a big turn as well, followed by Freeman, Platts, Chadwick and Corder. I'll keep you up to date with the fastest 15-year-olds at the next turn, because they're further down the field, but they're competing for places in their final. Volkovaya turning then at the halfway point in 2 minutes 12. So about 68 seconds for the last 100 for Volkovaya. Our fastest 15-year-old at the moment is Millie Threlfall in the yellow cap, second lane from the top for City of Leeds. 4:32, the fastest times we've seen so far. Volkovaya turning in 2:47.3 with 150 to go. Lily Freeman in second place at the moment in lane 7 and looking strong. Lily Freeman of Northampton getting back into this, and she's closing Volkovaya's lead. There won't be an awful lot in it at this turn with 100 metres to go. Volkovaya will get to the wall first, but where will Freeman be in relation to her? Just under 0.2 of a second apart. Freeman was almost 2 seconds quicker over the last 50, and now she's gone into the lead. Lily Freeman, the 17-year-old swimmer, and she's got alongside her at the top of your picture in the yellow cap, Millie Threlfall, 15-year-old from City of Leeds. 50 metres to go then. Freeman will turn first, then Threlfall and Volkovaya. And remember, the fastest times you've seen so far, 4 minutes and 32 seconds. That goes for the 15-year-old category, really. Freeman is going to swim far quicker than that 4:32. But by how much? Into the final 5 metres, and Freeman's time is 4:29.6. Threlfall's our fastest so far in the 15-year-old category, 4:31.7. And in third place there, Phoebe Chadwick in 4:33.58. Good swimming there, in particular in lanes 7 and 8. 4:29.6 the finishing time for Lily Freeman, and very impressive in second place, 4:31.7 for Millie Threlfall. On to heat number 5. So heat number 5, it's Chloe Cook, City of Sheffield in lane 9, Chloe Barnard, Basildon and Phoenix in lane 8, Joni Dunn of City of Liverpool in 7, Megan Thorpe, Winchester City Penguins in 6, Zara Kraviec of East Lothian in 5, Willow Harrison, City of Sheffield in 4, Isla Roberts, Hackney Aquatics in 3, Evelyn Hallisey, Newcastle Swim Team in 2, Lauren Dennett, Isle of Man in lane 1, and Amber Hinton of Dumfries in lane 0. Zara Kraviec first to the turn there for East Lothian in 30.1. And a very long stroke next to her in lane 5 from Willow Harrison, City of Sheffield. And also in early contention at the top of our picture, Chloe Cook from City of Sheffield. So those three will turn first, I think. Cook from Kraviec and Harrison. 64 seconds or thereabouts for the lead swimmers in this heat. So at the moment it's Kraviec leading in 5. No, it's not going to be Kraviec, it's Cook who's out in front. As we go into the turn, she's just going to get to the wall first. She does. Cook in 1:38 dead from Kraviec and Harrison. We have 7 15-year-old swimmers in this heat. Amber Hinton in the white cap right at the bottom of your picture in lane 0 is in the 13-14 category. We still have a couple of 13-14 swimmers to come. But Amber Hinton at the bottom there, swimming for a place in the 13-14 final in this particular heat. We're halfway in 2 minutes 12 for Chloe Cook. And Cook's City of Sheffield teammate Willow Harrison is in third place in lane 4. Into a steady rhythm here. It looks like lane 1, Lauren Dennett might be swimming herself back into this race as well. Chloe Barnard looking strong in lane 8. But Cook turns first, ahead of Kraviec and Harrison. And then it's Hallisey, Barnard, Dennett, Roberts, Dunn, Hinton and Thorpe. Hallisey in lane 2 swam a very strong finish in the 1500 metres yesterday in the black cap, 3 lanes from the bottom of your picture. So she still might have a say in the final positions over the last 100 metres. We'll keep an eye on her, but Cook has swum herself into a really good lead here. 3:21.1 at the turn. Kraviec, Harrison, and then Hallisey. And Hallisey, I've got to tell you, was the quickest in the pool over the last 50, and she swam very strongly towards the end of the 1500 yesterday, and she's coming back here. Very strong swimming from the swimmer currently in 4th place in the black cap from Newcastle, Evelyn Harrisey, in the 15-year-old category. She might be 4th at this turn, but I think we will see a very strong finish. Cook, Kraviec, Harrison and Hallisey in that order with 50 metres to go. Hallisey swam that last 34 seconds flat. That's quicker than anybody. She is the fastest swimmer in there at the moment, and she's surging forward as we come into the last 25 metres. I'm not sure she can catch Cook. Everybody giving everything they've got at the moment. I think in the middle of the pool, Kraviec and Harrison are also going to hold off the challenge, but Cook's going to finish in 1st place here. And then it's Harrison. So that's the 2 City of Sheffield swimmers in 1st and 2nd, followed by Kraviec in 3rd, and Hallisey in 4th place in 4:31.1. 4:29.3, that's the fastest time we've seen so far. The winning time there for Chloe Cook. And Willa Harrison in 4:29.97, our fastest 15-year-old so far. On we go to heat number 6. Our 10 swimmers in heat 6 are Aston Maddox of Millfield in the green hat at the top of the picture, Isla Jones, City of Sheffield in lane 8, Sophie Dowding, Team Ipswich in 7, Evie Cutter in lane 6 for Wigan Best, Maya Uassa of City of Leeds in 5, Tegan Black, East Lothian in 4, Katie 1, Camden Swiss Cottage in 3, Jemima Saul, Portsmouth North Sea in 2, Annabelle Cook, City of Sheffield in lane 1, and Sadie Hunter, City of Peterborough in lane 0. 30.4 fastest over the first 50, and that was Sophie Dowding in lane 7, just ahead of Tegan Black. And over that first 50 metres, every swimmer under 31.5 seconds. In this heat, we have one swimmer from the 13-14 category, and that is Maya Uassa in lane 5. Currently in 10th place, I would say, at the turn. The youngest swimmer in this particular heat. First to the turn was Isla Jones. Jemima Saul, second at the turn, is a 16-year-old swimmer. So Jones in front, then it's Saul. And we are coming up to the 150 metre mark now. It looks like they will turn in that order. Jones over first, 1:37.5, then Saul 1:38.5. Dowding, Maddox, 1, Cutter, Cook, Hunter Black and Uassa in that order. And we've got 225 metres to swim. Isla Jones, City of Sheffield, looking in a strong position. The last heat we had City of Sheffield swimmers in 1st and 2nd places. Jones with almost a 2-second advantage at that turn. It's probably worth mentioning Maya Uassa in lane 5, who was in 10th place after 100 metres. She's moved up to 9th and swimming her way back into the field of swimmers. And she's swimming in the 13-14 category. Jones then in 2:45.00. with 150 metres to go. Then it's Saul, Maddox and Cook. I don't think anybody will be able to catch Isla Jones with this kind of advantage. .100 metres left at this turn. And look at the top of the screen. Aston Maddox maybe turning second or third here. Jones out in front by almost 5 seconds. And if anything, she is swimming away from the rest. You can't even see her in that picture. This is the race for second place, really, with Maddox at the top of the screen and Saul in the white cap towards the bottom of the screen. Now you can see Isla Jones and how much of an advantage she's built up. Jones over in 3:52.9. Her PB is 4:27.17. So she'll be hoping to beat that. I think there's a pretty safe bet this will be a PB here for Isla Jones. And then everyone else is competing for second place in this one. Let's keep an eye on the time then for Isla Jones. I'll remind you her PB 4:27.17, and that's a PB for her. Coming in next, will it be Evie Cutter maybe? It is Cutter, then Cook and Saul. Strong swimming all around. Cook, the 15-year-old swimmer, finishing in third place there in 4:32. Not quite the fastest 15-year-old time we've seen so far. But Isla Jones finishing in first place in 4:26.05. A PB for her. And Evie Cutter in the 15-year-old category, 4:32.06. On we go to heat number 7. And in heat 7, our swimmers are from the top of the screen: Coco Croxford, South Lanarkshire. Then in lane 8, Charlotte Surrell, City of Birmingham. Lane 7, Lydia Caudle, Repton Swimming. Lane 6, Georgia Dickey, Dumfries. Lane 5, Emmy Aitken from the University of Aberdeen Performance. Lane 4, Izzy Blackhurst from Taunton Dean. Lane 3, Alyssa Lowe, City of Leicester. Lane 2, Liddy Grover, the Royal Wolverhampton School. In lane 1, Rosie Forster, Warren de Baths, and lane 0, Annie McLeod from Puttridge. Lydia Caudle was the first to turn, and Lydia is in the 13-14 category. There are a couple of 13-14 swimmers still to come, but Lydia Caudle will be swimming for a place in the 13-14 final in this heat, up in lane 7. But coming into the second turn, Izzy Blackhurst in lane 4 is going to reach the wall first, ahead of Emmy Aitken. 62.2 for Blackhurst at the 100-metre turn. And Blackhurst looking very strong right now. In third place at the moment in lane 2, Lily Grover from the Royal Wolverhampton School. So 3 lanes from the top. Lydia Caudle is in the 13-14 age group. Emmy Aitken is turning now in second place. She is in the 15-year-old age group. Blackhurst then out in front, but there's a group of 3 who look like they are ready to close in. In lane 5, that's Emmy Aitken. In lane 3, Alyssa Lowe. And in lane 2, Lily Grover. It will be Blackhurst to turn first, followed by Lowe. Aitken and Grover just a shade behind in third and fourth. And Lowe is definitely closing the gap on Blackhurst now in this, the third 100 of the race. And Lowe is also bringing Lily Grover with her. There won't be much between the first two at this turn. The lead down to 0.2 of a second, or thereabouts, 0.24. And they are now pretty much level, these two, Lowe and Blackhurst. And in third place at the moment, it's Lily Grover. Fourth in lane 4, or lane 5 rather, Emmy Aitken. And I think fifth at the moment, right at the top of our picture, is Coco Croxford, who swam the 1,500 metres yesterday. That might be a sign that she could put in a strong finish. But there's some pretty good swimming going on as well in lanes 1 and 2. Forster and Grover getting back into this race. Lowe's in the lead now, though. Since the 200 metre mark, she's swum her way into this race. And she is going to win this heat, you would think, at the moment. Looking strong as we come up to the final turn. It's Lowe turning first, followed by Blackhurst, Croxford, Forster and Aitken. Lowe and Blackhurst, the first two, both have very similar PBs, 4:31.3 for Lowe, 4:31.2 for Blackhurst. So if we get around 4:30 for either of those, this is great swimming. Croxford, I'd say, is in third, but down in lane 1, Rosie Forster is finishing strongly. It's Lowe who finishes first in a PB. And Izzy Blackhurst with a PB as well. Third place, Coco Croxford. And that's a PB too. Emmy Aitken finishing in fourth place there. 1/100th of a second outside of her best this year. So first place, Alyssa Lowe, one of our 16-year-old swimmers, in 4:27.77. And Emmy Aitken, a 15-year-old swimmer, in 4:31.34. We go on to heat number 8. In heat 8, from the top of the screen, Eleanor Chadwick, Barnet Copthall, Emily Maxwell, Northumberland and Durham Performance, Evie Mackey, South Lanarkshire in 7, Iris Hurst, Warrington Warriors in 6. In the middle two golden lanes, Lauren Lilly of City of Leeds and Katie Lee of City of Salford. And reading down the rest of the pool, Ella Smith, Northumberland and Durham Performance, Amy Hempenstall in lane 2 for Guildford City. In lane 1, Evie Hands of Mount Kelly, and lane 0, Amelia Fenner from Basildon and Phoenix. It's Evie Mackey who turns first in 30.00, 0.4 seconds ahead of Amy Hempenstall. So Mackey going out strong. And Mackey also got off to a quick start yesterday in her 1,500 metres freestyle. Mackey has got Emily Maxwell on her shoulder in lane 8, and then further down the pool in 4 it's Katie Lee and Ella Smith, and they turn in that order: Mackey, Lee, Maxwell and Smith, all under 64 seconds for the first 100. 5 swimmers out in front, and looking really good here in lane 6 is Iris Hurst from Warrington Warriors. She's having a really good 50 here. I think she may well get to the third turn in first place. She'll probably pick Mackey here to the wall by 2/100th of a second. And then it's Smith, Lee and Maxwell. 4 swimmers, I would say now, moving out in front of the rest. So Iris Hurst in the yellow cap, 4 lanes from the top of your screen. Further down now, Ella Smith of Northumberland and Durham. She's surging through in lane 3. So it's Mackie, Hurst and Smith coming to the wall together. And they turn in that order, Mackie, Hurst, Smith and Lee. Lee in 4th place, and we are halfway through this heat. But Hurst is out in front. I really feel that Ella Smith's looking strong in lane 3. And in lane 2 as well now, Amy Hempenstall going well. And Amy Hempenstall has come right up into contention in lane 2. The tactics in this 400 metres freestyle, so interesting. And Hempenstall turns in first. So the lead changes hands again. Hempenstall from Hurst and then Mackie. Hempenstall over a second faster than anybody else over the last 50 metres. And she looks like she's swimming almost 65-second pace for 100 at the moment, Hempenstall. She is now the clear leader with 100 metres to go. It's Hempenstall to turn first, followed by Hurst, Mackie, Smith and Lee. Difficult to see anyone catching Hempenstall at the moment. She's looking really good. Ella Smith looks like she's good for second place right now. And then on the other side of the pool, it's Mackie and Hurst. Let's keep an eye as well on lane 5 because Lauren Lilly is swimming strongly back into this one as well. Hempenstall followed by Smith, and then 4 turning together there, Mackie, Lee, Lilly and Hurst. Amy Hempenstall with a personal best of 4:30.5. She's going to beat that time. And she'll win this heat. Ella Smith's PB in lane 3 is also 4:30.3. They're both going to break those times. Hempenstall 4:26.9. Ella Smith to the PB 4:28.97. Lauren Lilly also under 4 minutes 30 for the first time ever for her. Evie Mackie in 4th place there, knocking 4/10 of a second off her personal best. So Amy Hempenstall first in the 16-year-old category there in a time of 4:26.94, and Ella Smith, 15-year-old, in 4:28.97. We move on to heat number 9. And our swimmers in heat 9. Jasmine Hall of Basildon and Phoenix at the top of the screen. Then it's Rebecca Coogan, Romford Town. Katie Otterson, Newcastle Swim Team. Zara Beaumont of Millfield. In the golden lanes in the middle, Minnie Patterson, Swansea University, and Natasha Dupree of Millfield. And then in the 4 lanes at the bottom of our picture, Edith Price in 3 from Mount Kelly, Madison Emmett from Repton swimming in 2, Grace Cummings in lane 1 for Thanet Swim Club, and in lane 0, Eve Leleu from Wrekin. First to the turn was Rebecca Coogan from Romford in lane 8 in 29.4. And Katie Otterson was second at the wall. It's Coogan going out fastest. We have one 13-14 swimmer in this race. That's Jasmine Hall right at the top of your screen. Coogan will turn first at 100 metres. 61.8 for her. And then it's 9 swimmers separated by 0.95 of a second. So nothing really to choose between everybody else in this race after 100 metres. We have 2 15-year-old swimmers in this heat. 3 from the top, that's Katie Otterson, and 4 from the bottom, Edith Price. Coogan out in front is in the 16-year-old category, and she's the only 16-year-old swimmer in this heat. So Coogan out in front. Cummings in lane 1 from Thanet is emerging from the pack. 2 lanes from the bottom of your screen, and just above her, Madison Emmons also coming through and making a gap between her and the rest. Emmons swimming in the 1500 metres freestyle yesterday, so she may well have a strong second half to this race. Coogan turning first, but losing ground over the last 100 to Cummings and to Emmons. And I would say Emmons, 3 lanes from the bottom, is the quickest swimmer in the pool right now. She's got the momentum and she's coming through into first place as we come up to the 250 metre turn. I think it will be Emmons first to the wall and possibly Cummings 2 lanes from the bottom to turn in second place maybe now. Let's have a look. Yes, Emmons, Cummings, and then Patterson in lane 5 also coming through up into third place. So Coogan, who was out in front after 100 metres, slipping back into the pack now. Madison Emmons from Repton Swimming looking very strong at the moment. And Millie Patterson in lane 5 in the middle of the pool, keeping in contention. It will be Emmons, Patterson and Cummings with 100 metres to go. And Emmons is swimming away from the field, looking very efficient, very streamlined. Emmons really looking like she's got the least resistance of anybody in the pool. Just look at the waves that Emmons is creating behind her. The pattern in the water in lane 2 is just different to the pattern in all the other lanes, and I think that just tells you how hard Emmons is kicking right now. The wave behind Emmons is filling her lane. It's just a different type of wave to what we're seeing in all the other lanes. Brilliant swimming. So Emmons going to win this heat. Coming in second place will be Millie Patterson from Swansea. Emmons' PB is 4:25.3, just outside that. Patterson, she's knocked 2 seconds off her personal best in second place. Grace Cummings with 4:30.6, just outside her personal best. Madison Emmons, well swum in lane 2, 4:26.1, and it was all in the second half of that race from Emmons. Brilliantly timed. Jasmine Hall, we should keep an eye on there in the 13-14 category in 9th place in 4:35.88. On to heat number 10 now. And in heat number 10 of 14, in lane 9 we have Molly Fisher from City of Manchester Aquatics. In lane 8, Annabelle Compton, Wickham District. Lane 7, Eleanor Kay from Bolton Metro. Lane 6, Amelie Smith from Royal Tunbridge Wells Monston. In lane 5, Mia Burson, City of Liverpool. Lane 4, Sophie Ben, Mount Kelly. And in the 4 lanes to the right of our screens here, Alice Forrest, Northumberland and Durham Performance. Catherine Noble, Newcastle Swim Team. Susie McNair, Stirling Swimming. And in lane 0, Martina Karabach of Chelsea and Westminster. Sophie Ben in the white cap in the centre of the pool was first to the turn then in 29.5. And the pace of this race settles down. We've got swimmers here really swimming for places in the finals in both the 16 and 17-year-old categories. So first to the wall, Sophie Ben. She's in the 17-year-old category. Amelie Smith in second place there in lane 6. She's actually in the 15-year-old category. We'd expect her in this heat to qualify for the final, most likely. Out in front then, Sophie Ben. And I'll give you an update on the leading 16-year-old as well when we get to the turn. Ben will turn first, and it will be Karabach in lane 0, who's the leading 16-year-old in 1:37.3. The second fastest 16-year-old there is Annabelle Compton in lane 8, 1:37.7 at that turn. Coming up to the halfway point then in this race, and in lane 6, Amelie Smith is closing up on Ben and Karabach. It may well be Smith who turns in first place here at the halfway point. It is just 2:11.09 there. Smith swimming at around 67 seconds pace there for the 100 metres. And Smith looking strong at the moment. Karabach at the bottom of the screen, still in contention, and Susie McNair in lane 1. Two from the bottom of the screen also coming into this race. Alice Forrest in lane 3 is also coming into it. So 6 swimmers really ahead of the rest here. Smith, Ben, Karabach, Compton, McNair and Forrest. Who's got the strongest 150 metres in the tank? I think McNair in lane 1 looks very smooth. That's 2 lanes from the bottom at the moment. Sophie Ben still going strongly in 4. And Annabelle Compton from Wickham District at the top of the screen, who will turn second, also going well. It's Amelie Smith in lane 6 though, who is looking the strongest in this heat. So Amelie Smith in the 15-year category, looking for a place in her age group final. Annabelle Compton in the 16s. This is probably going to be good enough for her to get into the 16-year-old final as well. And Susie McNair in 3rd place. Looks like she may be swimming into the 17-year-olds final. So all of these swimmers trying to get another swim this evening, finishing in the top 10 in their age groups in the heats. And Annabelle Compton's finishing strongly at the top of our screens here. She's gone past Amelie Smith since the 350 metre turn. Compton's going to win this heat from Smith. And let's have a look at the PBs. Annabelle Compton coming home there. A 3-second PB for Annabelle Compton. Amelie Smith in 4:26.05. Also knocking a second off her lifetime best. Susie McNair 4:27.4 in 3rd place. Just a few hundredths of a second outside of her personal best. So Annabelle Compton finishing in 1st place there in the 16-year-old category. Amelie Smith in the 15s and Susie McNair in the 17s. We move on to heat number 11. So in heat 11, it's Alice Young from Guildford City at the top of the picture in the blue cap. Kerry Henney of City of Liverpool in lane 8. Darcy Smith of Portsmouth Northsea in 7. Jessica Arundel, Barnet Copthall in 6. Then in the golden lanes in the middle, in the white cap, Nicole Ryan, Guildford City. And in the yellow cap, Sedona Reid, City of Leeds. And then looks like first to the turn will be Madison Renz of City of Liverpool in lane 3. Further down the pool, Rebecca Reid, Aberdeen is in lane 2. Holly Marshall, Repton Swimming in lane 1. And Paynton Chesters of City of Liverpool in lane 0. So leading us through at the moment is Madison Renz, who won a medal yesterday in the 1500 metres freestyle 17-year-old age group. And Renz will be first to this term, followed by Nicole Ryan from Guildford. And it's Chesters and Henny. So 3 of the first 4, Renz, Chesters and Henny, all from the City of Liverpool Swimming Club. And I think it's fair to say they had a very impressive performance yesterday. City of Liverpool's coach was voted to be the coach of the day. And there are 3 swimmers in this heat from the same club here, all swimming well again. Renz first to turn at 150 metres. Then it's Henny and Marshall, Holly Marshall of Repton. Nicole Ryan in 4th place for Guildford City. Things are settling down now. In lane 1, 2 from the bottom, Holly Marshall of Repton looking very strong. Hayton Chesters in the bottom lane, lane 0, fighting to keep up. Renz turns first, followed by Henny, and then Marshall, Reed, Smith and Chesters. And right now the race for first place is between Madison Renz in lane 3 and Kerry Henny in lane 8, the 2 City of Liverpool teammates. But Holly Marshall of Repton Swimming might have something to say about that. She'll be turning in 3rd here with 150 metres to go. Renz leading by 0.4 of a second from Henny at that turn. And let's keep an eye as well on lane 7. Darcy Smith coming up into 4th place and possibly closing the gap on the 3 ahead of her. Renz is going to turn in 1st place with 100 metres to go. Then it's Henny, followed by Marshall and Smith. But Smith, look, in the white cap, 3 lanes from the top, is about to move ahead of Kerry Henny. Smith moving into 3rd place in this heat. And she is in the 13-14 category, Darcy Smith. Darcy Smith may well turn in 2nd place here. That's a very quick 50 from her in lane 7. But it's Renz out in front, and she's going to win this heat. Renz surging away from the field. Her PB is 4:27.6. She's going to beat that. Madison Renz with a 3-second personal best. Darcy Smith coming through well as well. 4:26.5 for Darcy Smith. That's a PB by a second. And Nicole Ryan, 4:27.4 in 3rd place. So Madison Renz winning the heat in 4:24.07. Darcy Smith swimming very well in the 13-14 category there. We move on to heat number 12. So we're on to heat 12 of 14, and this is the first of the heats which are seeded. No swimmer in lane 4 here, but in lane 9 it's Evangeline Stacey from City of Leeds. In 8, Harriet Oxley from Repton Swimming. Lane 7, Henrietta Damassa from City of Manchester Aquatics. Lane 6, Elizabeth Warner, City of Leeds. Lane 5, Lucy Parsons, City of Liverpool. And then below the empty lane, Hannah Hodgkiss from Repton Swimming, Emma Price from Northumberland and Durham Performance, Matilda Potter in lane 1 for City of Leeds, and in lane 0, Lois Child from Harrogate District. Lois Child in the 13-14 age group, and also in the 13-14 age group in lane 6. In second place at the moment, Elizabeth Warner from City of Leeds. Emma Price looks like she's going to reach the 100-metre turn in first place. And perhaps in second it will be Matilda Potter, possibly. No, Potter beaten to the turn by Warner and Parsons. But Price in front, 63 seconds for the first 100 metres. Elizabeth Warner going well in lane 6, 4 from the top of the picture. She's in the 13-14 category. You can be sure she'll be making the final, so we'll see her swim later, and she'll be a contender in that age group for a gold medal. But look in lane 1 here, Matilda Potter really surging through that last 50 to come up into contention. We didn't get the time there for Potter, but I can tell you that she is in second place at the moment. We'll get a confirmation of that at the next turn. And Potter may even turn in first place here because she's got on the shoulder and past the shoulder now of Emma Price as we come into the 200-metre turn. Potter just beaten to the wall there by Warner. So Warner very impressive. As I mentioned before, these are the seeded heats now, the last 3 heats. So that means we get some of the fastest swimmers in the country spread across these heats. Not everybody is in the final heats. But without doubt, looking the strongest right now is Matilda Potter in lane 1. 2:44.6. She leads by over half a second from Elizabeth Warner. Potter going very strongly. Great rhythm. Kicking hard. We'll keep an eye on lane 5 as well. Lucy Parsons. 2-beat kick at the moment. Maybe she'll be switching things up in the final 100 metres. She's going to turn in second place, I would say. It's Potter, Parsons, Warner and Price, and that was a good turn from Parsons. Parsons is not out of this in second place at the moment, but I can't see anybody catching Matilda Potter right now. Real momentum from Potter in first place. It will be Potter first to the wall, followed by Parsons and then Warner. And the gap at that turn, 1.3 seconds. Warner in third place, remember, in the 13-14 age category, and a real contender for the gold medal in that one when we get to the final this evening. But Matilda Potter in the 16-year-old category is swimming away. She's being chased here by Lucy Parsons, but she won't catch Matilda Potter. And Potter's PB is 4:26.4. She's going to beat that comfortably. A 3-second PB, then it's Parsons in 4:24.4. That's a PB as well. And Warner in third, just outside her PB, only by a second or so. She'll have a chance to swim again in the 13-14 age group final in the evening session. But Matilda Potter finishing in first place in heat number 12 in 4:23.30 seconds. Lucy Parsons second in the 17-year-old category. Elizabeth Warner third in the 14-year-old category. On to heat number 13 now. And our 10 swimmers in the penultimate heats are Emily Forward from Swansea University, Elizabeth Land of Newcastle Swim Team in lane 8, in lane 7 Mary Craig, Edinburgh University, in lane 6 Kate Cotter. In the golden lanes in the middle, Phoebe Cooper from City of Sheffield in 5, Holly Wilson City of Leeds in 4, and then in the 4 lanes nearest to the camera, Molly Baker in lane 3, City of Sheffield, Amy Monks, Swansea University in 2, Phoebe Arbuckle from Warren de Bards in 1, and Maisie Dickinson, Wickham District in lane 0. Monks and Dickinson in lanes 2 and 0, turning virtually together there at the end of the first 50 metres. And everybody swimming a very similar pace over this first 100. The times these swimmers have posted in the last year vary by about 10 seconds. So the circle seeding means there's a slightly bigger spread. Wilson in lane 4 turning first after 100 metres ahead of Molly Baker. And now things settle down with Baker and Wilson, the two out in front, and at the moment I think possibly in third place Mary Craig, 3 lanes from the top as we come into the wall. No, third place probably in lane 2. Amy Monks, Wilson, Baker, Monks, then Cotter and Craig after 150 metres. But that was a really good turn in lane 4 from Wilson, and she has changed gear and decided to take this race by the scruff of the neck. Holly Wilson moving away. Wilson's best time 2 seconds faster than anybody else in this field. It's Wilson from Baker and then Monks and Cotter. And I would say that in lane 4 this is a really good swim for Molly Baker, and possibly in lane 3, and then in lane 2 Amy Monks now moving up into second place, also very impressive. Monks' best time a full 7 seconds slower than the best time for Holly Wilson, who's currently leading. So Monks swimming really well in second place right now, and that was a really good turn as well for Monks. Really hit the wall hard. No change, no hesitation in her stroke, flowing very well. So Monks swimming into this race as well. But Wilson from the City of Leeds is swimming away with 100 metres left at this turn. 3:13 for Wilson, 3:15 for Monks. And those two both swimming around 63 second pace for 100 metres. This is a good swim for Wilson, but I think Amy Monks is also catching the eye in this one. So Wilson will turn in first place, 50 metres to go, then Monks, followed by Baker and Cotter. And Wilson's PB is 4:14.2. I think we're going to see a big PB for Amy Monks in second place here. But Wilson coming into the finish, into the last 10 metres then. Wilson looking to secure a place in the final. Monks beating her PB by 2 seconds. And then Baker 4:22 and Cotter 4:23. Holly Wilson winning that heat then. And 4:17, making her the fastest 16-year-olds so far in the heats. Amy Monks with a 2-second PB finishing in second place. We move on now to the final heat. So our 10 swimmers in the final heats of the women's 400 metres freestyle. Anya Priest from Derby XL in lane 9. Abby Roscoe from Wirral Metro in lane 8. Amelia John, City of Cardiff in 7. Jessica Smelt of Repton in lane 6. Then in the golden lanes, in the green cap, Lucy Fox of Wickham District and Amelie Bloxage of City of Salford. And in the 4 lanes nearest to the camera, Shannon Stott, City of Sheffield, Ruby Griffiths, Mount Kelly, Emily Johnson from Millfield and Ava Cook from City of Sheffield Swim Squad. And it's Cook who turns first in 29.5. A really huge lead over the first 50 of 0.6 seconds. And you can see Cook, the highest stroke rate right now. The fastest PB in the pool here belongs to Amelie Bloxage in lane 4, 4 minutes 12. 2 seconds quicker than Lucy Fox in lane 5 and her PB. Shannon Stott has swum 4:13 in the past in lane 3, so we could see some quick swimming in this heat, and it's Stott at the moment who is out in front. Stott from Fox and Bloxage. But Bloxage will finish very strongly, I can guarantee you that. 150 metres swum, and those 3 are going to turn together. Under 0.2 of a second between those 3. Stop then for City of Sheffield, nearest to us in this leading group of 3. Bloxage in the yellow cap in the middle of those 3, and in the green with the W for Wickham is Lucy Fox. Bloxage, the youngest of those 3, and we saw how she swam the second half of the 1500 metres freestyle yesterday. Bloxage, we could be in for a really strong finish in the last 200 here. Stott, Fox, Bloxage, then Johnson, John and Smelt. So Bloxage swimming for a place in the final of the 15-year-old 400 metres freestyle, and either side of her, Fox and Stott look like they will qualify for the 18s and over final. Bloxage now moving into the lead, and the challenge, I would say, for Stott and Fox is to try to stay with her. Bloxage with the really high stroke rates. Stott's reaching forward with every stroke. It's almost 2 strokes from Stott for every 3 for Bloxage. Different styles, both can be effective. Every swimmer has to find what suits them best, but Bloxage is opening up a lead here, and Stott is fighting hard to stay with her. These 3 out in front. Bloxage will be the fastest qualifier for the 15-year-old final that takes place tonight. Fox and Shannon may well be the fastest 2 qualifiers at this rate for the 18s and over final. Bloxage will turn first then with 50 metres to swim. 3:46.1, and Stott is hanging in there, and this could actually be a really strong finish. Stott looking smooth, going to her legs, kicking really hard. Still with that long stroke, while Bloxage is turning over 3 strokes to every 2 for Stotts. I think Bloxage is just going to hold on here, but it's going to be close between these 2. Bloxage reaches for the wall, she gets there first, 4:17.4. Shannon Stott, 4:17.98. Just outside her season's best for Stotts. And Fox in 4:19.1. Bloxage obviously qualifying the fastest in the 15-year-old category with that winning time of 4:17.49. And look at Abby Roscoe in 6th place there in the 15-year-old category as well with 4:25.8. So she will be swimming against Bloxage in the 15-year-old final later. Well, that completes our women's 400 metres freestyle heats. We move on now to our next event. Great supports in the stands for everybody today. And next to entertain us all, the men's 100 metres breaststroke heats.
Let's go, Charlie!
We have 13 heats to come in this event. All 10 lanes filled then in heats 1. Reading from the top, Alexander Black, Charlie Calf, Jack Smith, Leroy Shee. And in the golden lanes, Oscar Jakeways and Leighton Lavelle. And in the 4 lanes nearest to the camera, Atai Parnes Molcho, Finley Phillips, Vincent One and Alexander Young. Making the pace over the first 50 is Leighton Lavelle from Durham City in lane 4. All of these swimmers are in the 13-14 category, by the way. And Lavelle actually beaten to the touch there by Oscar Jakeways. And then in joint second place, up in lane 9, was Alexander Black at the turn. So these 10 swimmers all have swum under 1 minute 14 this year. And it looks like Jakeways is going to come through to finish first here, although Charlie Calf's looking good in lane 8. Calf coming through strongly. And these two will be looking for the touch. It's Calf who's going to win the heats. Calf in first place with a really strong second 50, 1:10.95. Everything under 1:13 for these swimmers is really good times for them. They all set times under 1 minute 14 this year. So when we look at this result sheet, you'll see 8 swimmers under 1 minute 13. And Charlie Calf's 1:10.95, very impressive. Well done to him. On to heat number 2. Now 10 swimmers here, reading from the top, Rocco Murphy, Noah Dodd, Hayden Sanders, Leo Talbot. In the middle lanes, Stepans Nastiuks, Harry Robinson, and in the 4 lanes nearest the camera, Kieran Ng, who's out in front here, Austin Manley, Rafael Coliano and Martin Vermaat. But it's Kieran Ng in lane 3 and Hayden Sanders in lane 7, who are off to the strongest starts. Ng will get to the wall first, ahead of Sanders. 31.9 for Kieran Ng and 32.6 for Sanders. And Ng looking very powerful, getting a lot of distance per stroke, and perhaps more accurately, a lot of distance per kick, because it's the kick that's really propelling these swimmers forwards. Kieran Ng looking very good. Sanders lifting himself much higher in the water than Ng. Again, just different styles, different techniques, working for different swimmers. And inside the last 2 metres, it's Ng who's going to touch first in 68.6. Sanders in second is 69.6, and Nastiuks with 1:10.69. And they all look like strong PBs. I think Kieran Ng's PB before today was 1 minute 12.4, so he's knocked almost 4 seconds off that. And Hayden Sanders in 69.6, I believe his PB before today was 1:12.5. On to heat number 3. And our 10 swimmers here: Breivik, in lane 9, Zach Hopkinson. In 8th, and it's Kokwam Ma, Oliver Lambert, Zachary Drayson, Joshua Chirita, Arian Nath, Joseph Bale, Freddie George and Henry Shepherd. And it's Arian Nath from Corby in lane 3, making the early headway, with Zachary Drayson from Derby XL in 5, keeping with him. And also in lane 2, Joseph Bale from Mount Kelly. Bale actually getting to the wall in 2nd place. Big turns from those leading 3, but nobody more impressive at the moment than Arian Nath in lane 3. And Arian is in the 15-year-old category. Zach Drayson in 5, also a 15-year-old. Joseph Bale in lane 2 is actually in the 13-14 category. Nath coming in first then. 68.68 from Drayson in 110.2. Nath, I think, with a 3-second PB there. And Zachary Drayson knocking a second off his best. So Arian Nath finishing first in 1 minute 8.68 seconds. Zachary Drayson 1 minute 10.2. Joseph Bale 1 minute 10.66. On we go to heat number 4. And our 10 swimmers here: Arthur Greenwalker, Sky Sharples, James McGettigan, Lucas Lovell, Lachlan Small, Fraser Dow, Harry Mack, Caden Hitchens, Harry Meakin and Benjamin Podagil. And it looks like lane 8, Sky Sharples, is out in front over the first 30 metres here, with Arthur Greenwalker from Teddington keeping with him. And then in lanes 1 and 2, Harry Meakin and Caden Hitchens also going well. First to the wall then, it's Sky Sharples, followed by Greenwalker, Hitchens and Meakin. And that was a really big turn in lane 2 for Caden Hitchens, and he may now be out in front. It's between Hitchens at the bottom of your screen in lane 2 and Sharples in lane 8 at the top of your screen. And right now it's Hitchens, I think, who is shading things into the last 10 metres. And I'd say Hitchens has increased his stroke rate. Good finish as well for Harry Meakin, who's going to get the touch here. Big stretch from Hitchens, winning by 0.24 from Sharples, and Meakin in 3rd place, 69.2. Caden Hitchens PB, I think, 110.46 before today. So almost a 2-second PB. Hitchens and Meakin in the 13-14 category there, Sharples in the 15-year-old category. Heat 5 is next. Our 10 swimmers here: Benjamin Roberts, Frederick Dutoft, Victor Gould, King Sum Lu, George Upton, Matthew Day, Lewis Andrews, Charlie Ruddle, Eden Saints and James Wright. And first to show in this heat, Lewis Andrews from Norwich Swan in lane 3. And then George Upton, City of Coventry, in lane 5, swimming with him. And up in lanes 8 and 9, Frederick Dutoft and Benjamin Roberts going well too. Andrews turning in 31.2. Roberts turning in 2nd place, 31.7. And also under 32 seconds at the turn, Matthew Day from Northumberland and Durham Performance. But that was a really good turn from Lewis Andrews. He's a good arm length ahead of Benjamin Roberts here. And look at the strong swim here, 3 from the bottom from Charlie Ruddle from Team Ipswich. He might, with this quick stroke rate, surge through to take this heat. I think he will, into the last 5. It's going to be a real dive, a real reach for the touch. Who gets it is Andrews by 0.16. from Ruddell. Again, great swimming. 67 seconds there for the winner, Lewis Andrews. That's a PB for him, I think, knocking 0.2 off his previous best. And Charlie Ruddell and Victor Gould in the 15s category. 67 seconds for them. PBs for those two as well. On to heat number 6. Now 10 swimmers here: Charlie Rogers, Rory Webster, Aubrey Armada Bennett, Edward Ormsby, Henry Guppy, Gregor Ross, Daniel Streltsov, Oliver Richmond, Edward Davey and Luke Aitken. The swimmers here are almost all 16 years contenders, and the early speed being shown in the top of the picture by Aubrey Armada Bennett and also by Rory Webster. Webster turning first, and actually Edward Ormsby was second in lane 6. Good turns though in the middle from Ormsby and from Henry Guppy from Millfield, and those two are out in front. It's Ormsby in first place. Gregor Ross looking good in lane 4, but not quite as good as Ormsby. And up in lane 8, Webster as well, going strongly. It looks like Ormsby is going to take the touch here, ahead of Guppy and Webster. Ormsby 66.63 seconds. He was the quickest in the second half of that race. Ormsby finishing with a 35.15 split for the second 50. Let's move on to heat number 7 now. The swimmers in this heat: Thomas Woofenden, Ewan Weir, Joseph Hall, Quinn Austin Kelly, Jacob Barnett, William Irvine, Alexander Granado, Lewis Hickman, Rhys Burns and Finley Sang. And it's Ewan Weir near the top of your picture, I think, 2 lanes from the top, who is out in front. 2 15-year-olds in this race in lane 4, William Irvine, and at the top of the picture, Thomas Woofenden, City of Leeds. Weir possibly going to turn first with William Irvine. And underwater, very impressive from Irvine in 4. But look at lane 2 here, Lewis Hickman. He's swimming well as well. And the two at the top of the picture, they're in contention. That's Woofenden and Weir. And at the bottom here, Finley Sang going well. But I think Thomas Woofenden at the top of the screen is going to take this heat. He's the first past the flags, and the 15-year-old swimmer touches in 66.3. That's a 2-second PB. In second place, Lewis Hickman. And Hickman's time of 67.37. That's also a personal best, and that's what we're looking for. Swimmers to prepare themselves to deliver their very best at this meet, the Aquatics GB Summer Championships. On to heat number 8. We have 6 heats to go. The swimmers here: Ryan Owen, Joshua Sacre, Marcus Hay, Johnny Martin, Patrick D, Ben Buckley, Finley Gillam, Hugh Mason Williams, Thomas Williams and Frederick Beasley. Ryan Owen at the top of the picture in lane 9 is a 15-year-old, one of the top 15-year-olds, a contender for a medal in the final later. At the bottom of the screen in lane 1, it's Thomas Williams who is pushing Patrick D. Good turn from Williams, and an even better turn from Frederick Beasley of Paul in lane 0, right at the bottom of the picture. Coming right up into contention. Williams and Paul in a personal battle at the bottom, and then in the middle of the pool we've got Patrick D and Johnny Martin battling it out, but Martin's winning that one. And also right at the top of the picture, Joshua Sakri and Ryan Owen pushing each other hard. But the race is at the bottom here between lanes 1 and 0. Beasley gets there first. It was a really good turn from him. Williams second in 67.01. Two 17-year-olds finishing in first and second places there. And Johnny Martin in lane 6 in 67.3 in the 16-year-old category. That may well be good enough for a final place. Heat number 9 now. The swimmers in this heat: Dylan Mitchell, Finley Lowe, Ridian Shepherd, George Brooks, Jack Collins, Saxon Minto, Roger Davis, Ryan Mills, Blake Price and Wilfred Lee. And a very high reaching stroke, 4 lanes from the top from George Brooks, City of Leeds. Looks like he may be heading to the 50-metre wall in first place. And Ridian Shepherd just outside is going with him here. Brooks touching first. Saxon Minto in 4 was next to the wall. 17-year-old swimmers in this one: Blake Price, George Brooks and Ridian Shepherd, all likely contenders to get into the final for the 17-year-olds. And it's Brooks in lane 6 who is moving away from the rest. I think Minto in lane 4 will probably come in second, and then maybe Shepherd in lane 7. And that's how they finish. Brooks, Minto, Shepherd. Brooks 65.84. That's a good PB. I think his previous best was 67.01. And in second place in that one, Saxon Minto in 66.35. I think that's knocked 3/10 off his personal best. Minto, the fastest 16-year-old we've seen swim so far in these heats. Confirmation there of the result: Wilfred Lee in the 15-year-old category with 67.49. On to heat 10. 4 heats to go. And our swimmers here: Jose Rodriguez, Edward Robinson, Jeremiah Carnegie, Jack Mitchell, Joseph Ashley, Jad El Ghaziri, David Annis, Reese Dodd, Rogers Kringelis and Carwyn Jones. In lane 3, David Annis looking good from the Royal Wolverhampton School. And at the top of the screen as well, Edward Robinson from Chelsea and Westminster going well in these early stages. Lane 2 as well, Reese Dodds. At the turn, it's Annis from Dodd, and then Robinson and Rodriguez. The good turn there came from lane 3 from David Annis. And also at the top of the screen, Edward Robinson. And now coming into contention, Joseph Ashley from City of Liverpool, and he's really surging through. Right now, it's Robinson out in front, but I think Annis now probably coming into first place, and everybody pushing hard for the wall. It's between these 3. It's Annis who gets the touch. 4/100ths ahead of Robinson, and just ahead of Joseph Ashley. Ashley and Robinson in the 16-year-old category. and it's the fastest we've seen so far in the 18s and overs. And Jose Rodriguez in the 15-year-old category from Millfield, he'll be in the 15-year-olds final. Heat number 11 now, and this is the first of the seeded heats, which means Filip Novacki in lane 4 is a contender, one of our fastest swimmers in these heats. And Novacki in lane 4 in the yellow cap, he won, or got into the A final at British Championships as a junior, so that's a very impressive performance from him. He's 17 years of age. The good start here comes from Samuel Neild in lane 2. The swimmers are from top to bottom: Liam Taylor, Adam Bradley, Ryan Griffiths, Charlie Joe Hallett, Alexander Casey, Filip Novacki, Harvey Freeman, Samuel Neild, Maxwell Anderson and Regan Gallagher. First to turn, Hallett in lane 6, Charlie Joe Hallett. The turn in lane 2 from Samuel Neild was really strong. We've got to keep an eye on the yellow cap in lane 4. Novacki can finish well. He's behind Alexander Casey at the moment. It looks like Neild, Casey, Novacki, 1, 2, 3 right now into the last 15 metres. And in lane 5, Casey has moved into first place. It's going to be a real stretch for the wall here. And Novacki actually got it by 100th of a second. That's how to finish a race. I would say he was in second place with probably 1 metre to go. But he timed his finish to perfection, landed right at the end of a stroke. And Novacki wins that heat in 63.13. He'll be in the 17-year-old final. Alexander Casey will be waiting to see if he qualifies for the 18s and over final. I would expect he would. Heat 12, 2 heats to go. And the 10 swimmers here: Alexander Korver, Ronnie Hallett, Joshua Mitchell, Joshua Inglis, Alex Meyer, Rory Dickinson, Rafe Dobson, Ben Harrison, Daniel Ransom and Connor Mitchell. 2 lanes from the bottom, Daniel Ransom is the only 16-year-old to qualify for the seeded heats. So it's a real achievement for the swimmer 2 from the bottom in the yellow cap. First to the wall here will be Rory Dickinson from the University of Stirling. Quick around the wall as well. Dixon's from Dobson and then Harrison and Meyer. And there was a good turn as well from Dixon, cementing his advantage. It's Dixon, then Dobson, and then 3 from the bottom, looking strong at the moment, Ben Harrison. And in lane 5, Alex Meyer. No doubt about the winner of this heat, that will be Rory Dixon. But then there are 3 swimmers contending: Meyer, Dobson and Harrison as we go to the wall. Dixon first, then it's Dobson, Meyer and Harrison in that order. Dixon in 61.61. 61.61 the winning time for Dixon. Second, Rafe Dobson, 62.56 in a personal best time there. Alex Meyer, 62.75. And look at Daniel Ransom down in 7th place, a 16-year-old, 64.78. Final heat then, heat 13. Final heat then, Jamie Steadman, John Britton, Luke Ibsen, Callum Melville, Pravin Mahendra Kumar, Max Morgan, Oliver Jones, Rowan Smith, Noah Wheeler and William Tonks. In lane 4, Max Morgan, 16 years of age. Very impressive in the 16-year-old category. And also William Tonks in lane 0 in the 16-year category. It's Morgan, way out in front, 28.57 at the turn. Big turn as well from Morgan, looking fantastic. And then down in lane 2, Rowan Smith. Just behind them in third right now, Callum Melville. Just holding off Pravin Mahendra Kumar. Morgan then out in front, 60.83 is his personal best. Is he going to get close to that? 60.83, remember, just a bit slower, 61.18. Rowan Smith in 63, dead. And Mahendra Kumar, 63.18. 3 good swims there. Rowan Smith in second place, 63.00 with a PB, knocking 0.7 off his previous best. And Mahendra Kumar, 63.18. He's been faster than that, but good swimming all around in the men's 100 metres breaststroke. And that concludes our heats. We'll see most of those swimmers in those final heats back for the final session later this evening. Great support in the stands once again here on this Sunday morning at these Speedo Aquatics GB Summer Championships. And we move on to our next event now. This is the women's 50 metres breaststroke. Just one length of the pool here, 50 metres breaststroke. No 13 and 14-year-old swimmers competing in this event, by the way. So 15-year-olds are the youngest to compete in this. Ellen Winstanley of City of Hereford in lane 4, out in front here in the early stages. And then Amelia Denham of Chesterfield, looks like she may be in second place as the swimmers come into the final 5 metres. It will be Winstanley first, Amelia Denham in second place, and Ellen Eccleston in third. Winstanley with a previous best of 34.4, knocking 1.3 seconds off her personal best, and Eccleston in 34.22, also with a PB. We have 11 heats in this event. This is heat 2. So in heat 2, Sophie Statham-Gill, Ava Wilson, Gwendolyn Evans, Olivia Zobek, Iris Cork, Neve Dumas, Maurice McNee, Charlize Harding, Philippa Hickman, Abby Roscoe. In lane 4, Neve Dunbar swimming well, but the fastest swimmers at the bottom of your picture, Abby Roscoe in lane 0. She's out in front, I think in second place right now. It looks like Gwendolyn Evans. It's between those two, but I think Roscoe will do it comfortably. Roscoe first, then Evans. 34.02 for Roscoe, that's a PB by a second. And 34.67, a good time for Gwendolyn Evans. 34.55 rather for Gwendolyn Evans, that's a PB. 34.67 for Ava Wilson, just outside her PB. On we go to heat 3. The swimmers here, Amelia Murphy, Isabel Owen, Alicia D'Souza, Maya Rogers, Kirsty Neal, Fionn Matthias, Bonnie Mooney, Katie Coventry, Gracie Parker and Eloise Herbert. And out in front here in lane 1, Gracie Parker, the 16-year-old from Basildon and Phoenix. And at the top of the picture, Amelia Murphy from Whittam Dolphins going well too. And also in lane 3, surging through now, Bonnie Mooney. But it looks like Gracie Parker will take this heat as we get into the last 2 metres. Parker from Murphy. Mooney in third. And then Kirsty Neal. Gracie Parker's time there, 34.08, just outside her season's best. She'll have another chance maybe to swim for a PB. Amelia Murphy in second place, 34.28. On to heat number 4. And the swimmers here, Kenza Ajimi, Charlotte Bianchi, Mabel Walker, Eva Harris-Brown, Niamh Savori, Jessica Shue, Annalise Elford, Murray Gibson, Charlotte Thompson and Emma Allott-File. Out in front at the moment in lane 3, Annalise Elford from Whitney and District. And then in lane 6, looking good, Eva Harris-Brown. It's looking like Elford, the 15-year-olds, to come through to win this one. Who will get second? Maybe in lane 0, Emma Allott-File coming through. Actually, it was Bianchi up in lane 8 who touched the wall second. Some strong swimming there. Elford 33.34, that's a PB. And in second place, Charlotte Bianchi 33.85. That's just about her best as well. Heat 5 now. The swimmers here, Anna Finley, Sadie Robinson, Hannah Bettinson, Gabriella Hunt, Ellie Louise Kennedy, Lily Davis, Ava Kelly, Emilia Oliver, Ella Bissix and Ailey Robertson. And here it looks like Ella Bissix swimming well in lane 1, 2 from the bottom of your screen, and in the middle of the pool, Lily Davis. But right at the bottom, Ella Bissix, I think, just out in front into the last 5 metres here, and swimming hard for the wall. Who's going to get the touch? It's Gabriella Hunt in lane 6, stretching for the wall, ahead of Bissix and Davis. Winning time there, 33.98 seconds for Hunt. Knocking 6/100ths, I think, off her PB. Ella Bissix in second place there in 33.99. This is heat number 6. And the swimmers in this heat, Lauren Kenner, Rose Harrison, Grace Earp, Eloise Wade, Amy McLeod, Amelie Elliott, Isabel Cameron, Megan Mills, Anna Farr and Seren Talentire. Strong starts here from Isabel Cameron in 3 and Seren Talentire in lane 0. And I think Talentire at the moment is in front. It's between these two, Talentire and Cameron. And maybe up in lane 6, Eloise Wade now coming into contention. Talentire first, Cameron second, Anna Farr coming in third, then Wade. 5th place, Megan Mills. Talentire 33.09, that's a personal best. And in second place, Isabel Cameron 33.3, that looks like a PB as well. So that's swimmers delivering on the big stage in July, which is the big aim of these championships, of course. Heat 7 now. And the swimmers in this heat, Scarlett Tinwell, Sophie King, Zahara Smith, Yangting Emily Pack, Anastasia Musat, Nellie Clark, Perry Scobby, Annabelle Cook, Ruby Stevenson and Morgan Brand. Lane 3, Perry Scobby looking strong. And also in lane 7, Zahara Smith going well. It's very close. Lane 4, Nellie Clark looking good too. 7 and 6 here. Smith and Pack surging through. Who's going to get the touch? It's Pack. Yanting Emily Pack in 33.6. 0.05 seconds between first and 0.08 between first and third there. 33.61 the winning time for 15-year competitor Yanting Emily Pack. Sahara Smith in the 17 years category, 33.64. Anastasia Muzat in third place. On to heat 8. From the top of your screen then, it's Joni Dunn, Margarita Stoimanova, Ella McDermott, Jessica Ayling, Taya Hindley, Amber Rigg, Danielle Seong, Amelie Spicer, Emily McGee and Natasha Profit. Lane 6 off to a good start, Jessica Ayling from Romford Town. Just ahead, I think, of Amber Rigg from Cockermouth. And also coming through now is Tia Henley from Leamington Spa in 5, but it's going to be lane 4, I think. Amber Rigg first, Tia Henley in second. Joni Dunn up in lane 9, touching third in 33.45. The winning time in that heat, 33.12 for Amber Rigg in the 16-year-old category. And in second place, Tia Henley in the 17 years category. Third, Joni Dunn in the 15 years category. On to heat 9. And this is the first of our seeded heats. So 3 heats to go. Swimmers asked to stand down by the starter. Not quite ready to start the race, so they'll go again. That's not a false start or anything like that. We are just going to reset the start of the race. So in this, the first of the seeded heats, lane 4, Jasmine Carter from Basildon and Phoenix would be considered the strongest of these swimmers, but in lane 3 off to a good start, Theodora Taylor. Now Carter's coming through, and then look at lane 7 as well here. Bethany Walker swimming well. Also in lane 6, Ashley Ransom going strongly. Carter out in front, and then it's going to be a question of who can finish in second place. Maybe Taylor. Maybe Walker. It's Carter, then Taylor. Stoimanova was third in lane 5, and then Bethany Walker in fourth place up in lane 6. So Jasmine Carter winning that heat in 31.55. Theodora Taylor in second in 32.19, and Camelia Stoimanova in third place, 32.30. The first 2 swimmers in that race in the 15-year-old category. Heat 10, this is the penultimate heat. So in this heat, Hannah Capron in lane 4 would be one of the strongest contenders of all. And then looking at lane 2, 3 from the bottom, Darcy Revitt is coming through strongly as well. Then lanes 5 and 6 swimming quickly in the second half of the race, Amelia Riggett and Anna Healy. But it's Hannah Capron out in front, and it looks like Amelia Riggett's going to push her closely. That's lanes 4 and 5. They'll be first and second. Third there went to Gabrielle Idle-Beavers in lane 8. And fourth place, Beth Young from Team Ipswich in lane 7. 31.83 the winning time. The second fastest there by Riggett, 32.24. And Idleby was 32.73 in third place. Final heat now, this is heat 11. The final heat then, and the swimmers here: Sophie King, Jasmine DeCunha, Charlotte Hardy, Lucy Canavan, Sienna Robinson, Imogen Clark, Amy Crowley, Alicia Pollard, Emily Farr and Amelie Smith. And out in front, Imogen Clark from Derby XL. She's got a good advantage over Sienna Robinson. That's lanes 4 and 5 out in front. The race now really for third place, and I think Emily Farr in lane 1's going pretty well for that. It's Imogen Clark then in the 18s and over category in first. Sienna Robinson second, 31.79. Emily Farr third in 32.4. All three of those swimmers in the 18s and over category. Amy Crowley in fourth place, also in the 18s and over. 9th and 10th places in that race were 17-year-old category Charlotte Hardy and 15-year-old Amelie Smith. So that concludes the women's 50-metre breaststroke heats, and now we're on to the heats for the men's 50 metres backstroke. And we have 10 heats to come, with 5 swimmers in heat number 1. And just before we start this heat, I will say we've just heard there's going to be a swim-off in the for a place in a final to come at the end of these heats. I'll give you an update on that in a moment. Let's concentrate on heat 1 first, though, of the men's 50 metres backstroke with these 5 swimmers in heat 1. So in this heat, the 5 swimmers reading from the top of your screen: Aaron Drake, Farley Greaves, James Payne, James Kilpatrick and Finlay Richardson. And it's Farley Greaves who looks good at this point in the race, ahead of James Kilpatrick. Greaves looking very strong, getting his hips ahead of everybody else in the 50-metre race. Slightly short arm as he reached for the wall, but 28.43, a very good time. Greaves, a 16-year-old swimmer in this event. Everybody else 15-year-old category swimmers. Greaves winning in 28.43. We move on then to heat 2. So our Heat 2 swimmers: Samuel Mills, Joshua Chirita, Finn Adams, Zach Fellows, Harry Langford, Ethan Thorpe, Corey Phillip, Byron Saul Tucker, Benjamin Guthrie and Alfie Owen. And out in front here is Corey Phillip in lane 3 for Dundee City Aquatics. And also look at lane 0, Alfie Owen going well. And towards the middle of the pool, Zach Fellows in lane 6. But it looks like Corey Phillip glided into the finish. 28.55 from Owen, and then Fellows in third place. Winning time there, 28.55 seconds. So the swim off that we're going to have, I'll give you details of that in a moment. We move on then to heat number 3. And the 10 swimmers here: Ethan Collins, Joshua Parker, Oliver Pedra, Joseph Edgar, Harry Sharp, Oliver Baskerville, Ryan Close, Monty Smith, Isaac Thompson and Dylan Lewis. Good start in lane 1 here from Isaac Thompson from Tigers in Jersey, but now coming through in lane 5, Harry Sharp. And also in lane 3, swimming well now, Ryan Close from Bedford. It's going to be lane 5, Harry Sharp to touch the wall first, 27.53. Joshua Parker, 27.83. And Oliver Baskerville, 28.19. That's the 1, 2, 3. All of those swimmers in the 16-year-old category. Good swims from all 3 there. Joshua Parker, sorry if I said he was in the 16 category, he's actually in the 15 category. Joshua Parker finishing in 2nd place there, and a tie for 3rd between Thompson and Baskerville. Heat number 4 now. And the 10 swimmers in this heat. Heat 4 are David Hope, Harvey Reid, Joe Jennings, Joseph Box, Harry Milne, Edward Bell, Henry Taylor, Eric Lassane, Louis Thorne and Samuel Hall. Very close at this stage. Lane 4 probably just pipping everyone else, Edward Bell, but Harry Milne in 5 is also in contention. And up in lane 7 going well, Joe Jennings from Leander. It's anybody's race as they reach for the wall. It's Bell, Milne, Henry Taylor then in 3rd and Joe Jennings in 4th. Bell's winning time 27.78, Milne 27.82, and in 3rd Henry Taylor 27.94. Now I mentioned earlier we're going to have a swim off in the men's 100 metres breaststroke. That's after the final heats of this men's 50 metres backstroke. The swim off is going to be between 2 15-year-olds, Sky Sharples and Frederick Dutoft, for a place in the 15-year-olds final. So that's to come at the end of these heats. This is heat 5. Now 10 swimmers here then with 6 heats to go. Finley Bruce, Jensen Owen, Ethan Soppett Moss, Jacob Brown, Jack Robinson, Theodore Rogers, Adam White, Benedict McCarthy, Zach Sheriff and Jack Doherty Simpson. And in lane 6, Jacob Brown from Tadcaster York Sport, swimming very well. And he's taking Ethan Soppett Moss with him, and also looking down in lane 2, Benedict McCarthy's going well. They reach for the wall. It's Brown, Soppett Moss, McCarthy. That's the 1, 2, 3 in that heat. 27.26, 27.37 and 27.53. The times for our first 3 to the wall. 0.6 of a second between 1st place and 6th place in that heat. Ethan Soppett Moss, a 15-year-old swimmer, in 2nd place in that heat. We're on to heat number 6 now. The 10 swimmers in this heat: Samuel Sutcliffe, Oliver Parry, Toby Nakamura-Drew, Ben Hartridge, Oliver Davis-Tutil, Sam Adams, Evan Davis, Santino Del Real, Martin Yankoff and Cameron Jameson. Lane 0 going well here is Jameson. And also in the middle of the pool, Sam Adams from Anaconda in lane 4. They look like the first 2. And maybe Oliver Davis-Tutil in 5 is going to be in the mix as they reach for the wall. It is Jameson. Adams and Davis-Tutil tying for 2nd place. Jameson's time 26.94. He's a 17-year-old. Sam Adams is a 17-year-old, and Davis-Tutil is a 16-year-old. They are the first 3 in that heat. 26.94 the winning time for Cameron Jamieson. on to heat 7. And the 10 swimmers here: Laurel Roberts-Burrell, Finley Pope, Logan van der Meunen, Ryden Byrne, Rhys Blackett, Thomas McDermott, Zachariah Dale, Jamie Gray, Isaac Jones and Jeremiah Carnegie. Lane 1 going well from the start. That's Isaac Jones, but coming through now in lane 5, Rhys Blackett looking very good. And up in lane 8 as well, Finley Pope. It's going to be Blackett in lane 5 to finish first, and then who's going to come in second? It's Dale who comes in second in lane 3 in 27.14, winning time 26.83. Finley Pope up in lane 8 is in third. Strong swimming there. Rhys Blackett getting under 27 seconds. And Isaac Jones in 8th place, a 16-year-old category swimmer there. Jeremiah Carnegie in the 15s. Heat 8 is the first of our seeded heats. We have 3 to go. The 10 swimmers here: Fergus Thompson, Christian Dutoft, Joseph Adams, Harry Robinson, Harry Nicholson, Dean Thurn, Samuel Greenbank, George Whittle, Jason Mamatoglu and Charlie Meek. Lane 3 off to a flyer here, Samuel Greenbank, and he's got Harry Nicholson with him. But coming through in lane 4, Dean Thurn. It's going to be lane 3 though, Samuel Greenbank to touch first, then Nicholson, then Thurn. 3 swimmers in the middle of the pool. Thurn in the 16-year-old category in third place, Greenbank and Nicholson in the 18s and overs. 25.94 the winning time for Greenbank, and 26.24 in second place for Harry Nicholson from Newcastle Swim Team. Heat 9, the penultimate heat now. The 10 swimmers here: Toby Godsell, Charlie Broom, Maximus Lee, Lewis Maxwell, Rio Dowdu, Jamie Robertson, Jack Knight, Aidan Simons-Brown, Jordan McPhail and Daniel Ransom. Out in front early on then, Jamie Robertson, and he's got Jack Knight fighting hard. In lane 2 as well, Aidan Simons-Brown. It looks like they'll be the first 3 in lanes 2, 3 and 4. Robertson first, Simons-Brown second, Knight in third. 25.8 the winning time for Robertson. All 3 of those swimmers in the 18s and overs category, so having to fight hard for a place in the final. 10 places up for grabs for the fastest swimmers in each category, of course. Toby Godsell, the fastest 17-year-old there, 26.47, and Daniel Ransom, the fastest 16-year-old, 26.97. Final heat then, this is heat 10. And our 10 swimmers here: Daniel Johnston, Maddox Roberts, Andrew Jones, Lucas Brown, William Ellis, Jamie Ferguson, Nicholas Finch, Shakil Giordani, Zeno Ubatali and Nathan Wells. Good start here from Nicholas Finch in lane 3, but now coming forward in lane 4, it's Jamie Ferguson. He's going to win this heat. In lane 2, Shako Giordani's going well too. It's Ferguson, Ellis and Finch tying for second place, both with 26.51. So that's the 1, 2, 3 there, all in the 18s and overs category. Our fastest 17-year-old there was in 5th place, Zeno Ubatali, 26.57. So that's the end of the men's 50 metres backstroke heats. We've got one more swim to come in this session. We're going to have a swim off now to decide the final place in the men's 100 metres breaststroke final for 15-year-old swimmers. And this is between Sky Sharples and Frederick Dutoft. They are going to swim side by side. It's pretty straightforward. Whoever wins this race will take the final place in the final. So they get to swim their event all over again. And this is another thing swimmers have to get used to as part of big competitions. It takes a lot of focus to just swim head-to-head. 2 swimmers with 1 place in the final available. Dutoft in 5, Sharples in 4. So 100 metres breaststroke, 2 lengths to the pool. Sky Sharples out in front with a great start. And I'll remind you, the winner of this will have the final place in the final, the 10th place. Sharples with a strong lead as we come into the turn. Only one turn, of course. This is 2 lengths to the pool. And we come down the final 50 metres now. Sharples out in front and looks good for a place in the final, unless Dutoft can fight back here. But it looks like Sharples has got this under control. Dutoft is fighting back, of course he has to. He's really got to fight hard, but I can't see him closing this gap now. Sky Sharples will take the final place in the 15-year-old men's 100 metres breaststroke final. And we will see those two, well, we'll see Sky Sharples rather in that final in this evening's session. So come back and join us later for the evening session. We'll have the finals for all of our events. So we'll have finals in each of the individual age groups for men's 200 metres freestyle, for women's 400 metres freestyle, men's 100 metres breaststroke, women's 50 metres breaststroke and men's 50 metres backstroke. It is going to be another exciting session. Our first session of finals to come then later this evening at these Aquatics GB Summer Championships. I do hope you can join us there, and we'll speak to you later on. Well, if you do still have connection to this stream, I'll just let you know, I think we may have another swim off to come. So stay tuned. I will give you an update to let you know if that is happening. So a possible second swim off before the end of this session, and we will keep you up to date on that possibility in the next few minutes. Well, you may have just heard the announcements. We are going to have a swim-off in 5 minutes' time, and that will be in the men's 50 metres backstroke, 15 years category, and it is to decide the second reserve place for the final. We'll have 3 swimmers competing in that swim-off, and that will be coming up in the next few minutes. So stay tuned, that will be the last swim, the last race in this session. So thanks for staying with us if you have done that. And one more race to come, and it's a real splash and dash, 50 metres of the pool for 3 15-year-olds for the second reserve place in the 15-year-olds final. We'll have more details about the swimmers involved for you in the next few minutes, so stay tuned. In fact, I'm just seeing the names of the swimmers competing here. And actually, it's not for the 15-year category, it's for the 17-year category. The 3 swimmers involved will be Adam White from Millfield, Logan van der Meulen from Stirling Swim, and Bryden Byrne from Mount Kelly. So that's Adam White, Logan van der Meulen, and Bryden Byrne all competing in a swim-off, and that's coming up in the next 5 minutes or so. Well, welcome back. We have one last 50 metre swim then to come. This is backstroke swim off for the final reserve place for the 17-year-olds men's 50 backstroke final. In lane 5, you can see there on the left of your picture, Bryden Byrne from Mount Kelly. In lane 4, Logan van der Meulen for Stirling Swimming. And just out of your picture at the moment, Adam White from Millfield. And the starter has stood us down. Adam White's not quite ready to swim yet. So we're waiting for him to take up his place in lane 3. Just to give you the details then, these 3 swimmers, White, van der Meulen and Byrne, they finished tied for 12th place in the 17 years category, 50 metres backstroke. They all swam 27.64 seconds. 27.48 was the time required in the end to get into the top 10 and qualify for the final. So we will have those three swimmers competing one length of the pool, the final race of this session. And at the moment it looks like Adam White from Millfield is just getting ready, and we are about to have this race then. Here we go, the three starters. In lane 3, Adam White. Lane 4, Logan van der Meulen. Lane 5, Bryden Byrne. And I would say really the thing for these three swimmers is just to try and beat their heat time. 27.64 they each swam. A dead heat for 12th place. And whoever touches first in this swim off will have the final reserve place in the final. This will be the last race of this session. And off they go then. The deepest start, the longest underwater was Adam White, but in lane 4 it's Logan van der Meulen who's got the advantage as they pass 25 metres. The really fast stroke rate from van der Meulen. Let's remember 27.64 was the time all three swam in their heats. Let's see if any of them can better that as they reach for the wall. It's van der Meulen 27.47, and it's another tie. Another tie. Van der Meulen and White 27.47. You know what that means, guys. Climb out, walk to the other end. You're going to have to race again. We've knocked Bryden Byrne out. 27.47. Probably irritatingly for both of these swimmers. That would have got them into the final. But there we go. A tie for first place. So I can't see any other option than for those two swimmers, White and van der Meulen, to climb out, go back to the start and have another go. I thought we'd seen the last race of the session. Maybe not. So a decision will be made now as to whether they will swim again, but I would be 95% sure that the decision will be let's go again. So we're just waiting for all of the officials to confirm and agree that's how we are going to proceed. I think it's worth pointing out that all three swimmers swam a little bit quicker in that swim off with the adrenaline pumping than they did in their heat. And 27.58 the time for Bryden Byrne, who we've effectively knocked out by finishing third. That wouldn't quite have got him in the final, but the 27.47 for White and van der Meulen would have got into the final. The thing now is, of course, we have to wait. I imagine the officials will say that van der Meulen and White are entitled to a little bit of recovery time before they swim again. It may only be a 50-metre race, but they will be given every opportunity to give their best performance, I would imagine. So we'll just wait. We're pending a decision, and I expect that decision will be that we will swim again, White and van der Meulen, but that decision has not yet been confirmed. I'll tell you what, I'll take this opportunity to just thank everybody who's been part of these sessions so far. As I like to mention, it's a real celebration of the performances that everybody's achieved in the last 12 months. Yes, that's performances by swimmers, of course, but the swimmers don't do it alone. It's the achievements of the coaches, officials who support everybody, team leaders, families. None of these performances by the swimmers are possible without the support of everyone around them. So this is a chance to recognise everybody's performances, everybody's involvement in the last 12 months. And then of course once you get here, this is the real benchmark meet to take part in, and an opportunity to compete in a competition that's following international meet standards. Now we've just heard there will be that swim off between Logan van der Meulen and Adam White at 12 o'clock, so that's just under 5 minutes from now. So the swimmers just given a chance to recover and give them an opportunity to give their best performance again. But that is confirmed. At 12 o'clock we will have another swim off in the 17 years men's 50 metres backstroke, and that will be between Logan van der Meulen and Adam White. So stay with us for that. It's coming up in 4 minutes or so. Okay, welcome back then. We're going to have a second swim off. And in lane 5 here, Logan van der Meulen, and in lane 4, Adam White, coming back for their second swim off. And I'll remind you, the winner of this race will take the second reserve place for the 17-year-old final in men's 50 metres backstroke. Off to a good start then in lane 5, Logan van der Meulen, but that happened in the previous swim-off, and Adam White came through right at the end, and Adam White now I think is going into first place. It looks like Adam White finishing strongly, is going to win this one decisively. He reaches for the wall, and sure enough, 27.58 for Adam White means he does take 12th place outright in the 17-year-olds category for men's 50 metres backstroke. 27.58. And you kind of have to say those two swimmers had to swim 150 metres to get their position in the 50 metres backstroke. Good effort all round, and that does conclude the first session on day 2 of these Speedo Aquatics GB Summer Championships. We have a break now, and we come back later for the final session, the first session of finals. It's going to be exciting. We'll have all the bells and whistles. We take it up another notch for the finals. Come and join us for that later on this evening.